I don't even know if the overlay's set up. What? Here we go. Nope.
Well, you know what this is time for, Scott, right? It's been a while, but professional streamer.
Actually, you guys are almost perfect.
Wait, I'm Clan Densho? Why did I have to be Clan Densho? That was the worst clan.
Almost perfect.
Excuse me, Neil. How could you betray me like that?
Oh.
Oh, we were boys. Yeah, I see how it is.
I thought you were men, but you know that's fine.
No, we're boys.
Brody,
With an I and an S.
She left you in here.
That's right.
Hi, Brody. Come up.
I was like, oh my god, your carpet's moving.
Up. Come on, up. Jump. You're getting old, aren't you? Up.
Oh, bless her.
Up.
Oh, hey, Artie.
Oh.
She's over 12 now, so she's old.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Yeah. But anyways, so
Time for sausages.
Mummy stole your beanbag. I'm sorry. She stole your beanbag. If I end up getting this new job, I'm gonna take a week off between jobs, and during that time, I'm putting molding on my floor and finishing my door. I'm turning this into a proper office, and if I actually
Making
have time,
it real dank, yeah.
I'm going to put the slip on the pillar here so it looks less like a basement. That way it like looks proper on business calls. Because as it is right now, I've been taking my calls. You probably can't see the stuff set up over there because it's too dark. But I've been taking my calls. Hold on.
I mean, quite frankly, I think he shouldn't put a proper thing on the pole. I think he should just like chrome it. You know,
thank you.
And then when anyone asks about it, he can be like, "Oh, it's for business calls," and everyone will be like, "Right."
I have a little setup right there with like a webcam on like a riser thing, and I was attached my laptop to it and using like my D&D books and Vote for Batman and Aurorum map and whatnot as like my background on this wall over here. That way it looks cleaner than all of this. So I was like, let's try to keep it a little bit nicer looking. So I think I had holocrons in there at one point in time during the calls, but they're just like, oh, he's a nerd. That's okay. It's a tech industry. They like that. So, all right, cool. Jake, I know you're the most excited to play this game. You like playing with these two more than you like playing with the other two. And I will keep reminding Nick of that.
You can't say that, all right? But the undeniable fact is, who are the Aurorum OGs? That's all I can say.
Okay, that's
okay.
It's Neil.
All of us, thank you. All right. We're all here from the beginning, Scott.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Is that crazy? Like how long? Like we not like how long I've known Tash or you were like we as a group, specifically the four of us, have played together. It's been a long fucking time.
It's been a lot of hours. Yeah.
Is that great? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, did I have a beard at the beginning?
No.
Could I grow a beard?
I mean, Neil, some would argue you still can. So, you know.
Wow.
It's okay. So Jake and Tash, they have proper beards, and then mine comes in thick enough it doesn't matter how long it is. So, yeah, sorry, buddy. Can you connect here yet?
I don't want to connect there.
How are we all going to hang out one
But no, this is the point of my mustache. It's not connected.
Yeah. You grow it out, right? Yep.
Well, there's two of us in the same country.
Green, a long time considering we never met each other.
I'd like to go to Oz. I think it'd be good. It's very expensive though.
But where's like a central location
The long
for
flight.
all of us?
I mean,
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Not for Neil.
Fuck me.
The problem is Neil and I are on like this half of the planet, and you guys are on that half, and we're also on this half, and you guys are on that half. So it makes it difficult.
I mean, I would say we should like.
Location,
I would say we should like fight, and then whoever wins gets to decide the location. But like, that's not really fair, is it? Because Scott and I would both bring emus to the fight. You like turn up with an AK.
You can control emus.
All right, I'll bring the wild boar. All right.
Oh
so
my god.
We need
Scott's ready for that. You need 30 to 40 wild hogs.
I got my LTC, baby.
Look,
I'm
okay.
prepared.
It's okay. All we have to do is bring one kangaroo. One fucking
Yeah,
one
I
of
mean,
the big
to be
red
fair, I wouldn't mess with the
big
kangaroo.
red kangaroos, and you'd be fucked.
Yeah, can we just not have the fight be in Australia? I won't lie. I feel like none of us will live. Ugh. Right? I'd be like, oh, I accidentally pricked my leg on that plant right there. I'd be like, oh, buddy, say your prayers. You get 10 seconds. What?
10? What?
That reminds me when you
and
looked
you're
at
like,
that.
ring. Oh, fuck. Beep. That's it.
It reminds
So
me
we
when
got
you
time
looked
for-
at that bit of land and you're like, oh, that's nice. Near where I live, Scott. And I was like, that's bush and nobody goes in there.
Yeah, oh, that's right. That's right. I was in a hospital, and you were like, I think you said that's where your kids were born or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
nice that all around the hospital, it's like a nice, like, preserved land or whatever it is. Like, if you already phrase it. And you're like, no, it's bush. I was like, yeah, it looks like bushes. You're like, nah, mate, that's bush.
No, you don't go in.
And I was like,
you don't
huh?
go in there.
And then I was like, yeah. I was like, why would you put your hospital in such a not hospitable place? Like, why? It's like, well,
Look,
it's
it's
there
all
for a
right now.
reason.
They're cutting it all down and building an expressway. So there you go.
That's wonderful.
At least you're next to the hospital, so you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just go right back in.
But either way, no. The longest campaign I ever run, individual campaign, green, was over 3 years long, and the only person you guys met that was a part of that. Hold on. That one was.
Just say my buddy Nick.
Well, no, so Nick was a part of it for maybe a quarter of it. He popped in later on and then bowed out early before it ended. But that's the only person a part of that campaign that any of you guys online have met. Yeah, nobody else. Yeah, because you never met my brother Gary. You guys will never meet Pat. You'll never meet Beth. And his ex. And then Miguel.
I mean, that sounded a little bit like you murdered Beth, so maybe
It really did.
you'll never meet Beth.
And in theory, I could connect with Miguel. He lives down in Colombia now. So
You might find the best tub. There's a suggestion that we should go to NC.
I mean, I honestly would love
It
to go to
is.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Yeah, I'd like to.
It is
great.
so nice.
I hear there's really
Yeah.
fine sheep down there. You know what I mean? So
Oh, we could. Oh, wow. We could all go there. We could all go there, and we could just Lord of the Rings it. You know.
I mean, I'm too tall for that, but these
Yeah,
two
sure.
can try.
Sure.
So
It'd be good though because like Pippin and Merry are quite tall for hobbits. So like we'd have us, we'd have Sam, and then we'd have Scott being the short Frodo. You know. You'd have to shave though.
He's mad about it.
I swear the instructions to making Brittany's chair were ridiculous. So you have a Secret Labs chair, right, Tesh?
Yeah.
So when you got your chair, did you also have instructions that were like a
Oh,
giant
fucking
push-
gigantic.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the size of my bed.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? But yeah,
It actually turned out to be really simple, but it was like
It
the
was super
instructions
easy,
did not
yeah.
make it look really simple.
no, it's mostly magnetic too. Like they use a bunch of earth magnets to make sure everything just like snaps in place. So it's
Oh,
re-
it was fantastic.
So like, cause we bought Brittany a desk, like a standing desk. So you press a button and it goes. So I put all the settings together for her,
Oh,
what
that's
have you.
awesome.
Yeah. So it has three settings for it. So one for Rory, one for her sitting, and one for her standing. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, Secret Labs. I saw the triangle next to your head, and I thought it was. But that's also because
Yeah,
you have
it's-
you have lumbar problems, and that's really good for you.
honestly, like I haven't had much issues with my back since I got this chair.
Yeah.
And like the comparison was, you guys remember when I used to have to lie down on stream?
Yeah.
Like it was that bad. I've not had anything like that since. Only if I do strenuous activities that push my back to the limit, then I have issues. But otherwise, this thing has fixed my back.
That must have been crazy expensive because it's not Australian, right? That company.
Oh, it was like $700.
Yeah. And you probably got like the basic XL model, right?
I had to get the Titan.
Oh, you got the Oh, okay, cool. All right. So
Yeah, I had to get the Titan because it's the only one rated for my weight.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I know that the one that Brittany got, it's rated. So that one goes up to 220, and I weigh 210 usually. So 205, 210. So
No, I can't move far enough out of the way, but there's a big
Wait,
T
how
in the
can
middle
you
of it.
weigh
Yeah.
your height, Scott?
It's not how units of measure work. And shut up, Neil. Let's just play the fucking game, okay? Jake, please get us started. Where'd we leave off, sir?
We left off going to meet with the field commander because we just figured something
fuck, that's right.
game changing out.
We were finally going to get some rest, and then it's like, aha, aha.
What did you figure out?
We had some rest though, so we're not like it's not
We
like
did
we've
get
been
some
up
rest, yeah.
so long. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said, more or
s-
less we put a small restart on more or less we put a hard restart on the how long you had. So even though you didn't get a proper long rest. Wait, hold on. Who didn't get the proper
Well,
long
no,
rest?
we did.
I-
Oh, you did.
we
My
did.
apologies. My
No, what
apologies.
happened was we got a long rest, but until
You didn't have the
like,
1 hour reset, yeah.
And yeah, until a whole bunch of stuff happened, we weren't allowed to reset everything.
Yeah.
But we both now since had downtime that would be enough to reset that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so long as you're not doing anything else, because like when you spend the 1 hour studying your books or what have you, that's supposed to be just 1 hour dedicated to that. But go ahead.
I spent like an hour and a half in the place waiting, so I obviously
Correct.
didn't have anything.
You
to do,
have
so-
had time. Unfortunately, that place was very uncomfortable for you. You made your fortitude save, so you weren't like hacking up a lung or anything like that to stop you from being able to psychically recalibrate yourself. And just so you guys know, Tesh actually messaged me offline with a quick question, more or less being like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I got this crown, but this crown doesn't have like unlimited use. It has limited use to what it can do."
Misinterpreted.
No, you're good. I want to make it clear because
Okay, cool. Yeah.
not all the time am I super clear. It doesn't have unlimited use. It has somewhat limited use based off of the amount that it can protect me from being noticed by what seems like I'm being noticed by the others for having my abilities. So the question from Tesh was more or less, am I safe to use my powers, or do I only have like a very limited window that I can? And so what I told him was, in short, like that latent ability that's supposed to like conceal your basic thoughts or what have you, whatever it's called, that is supposed to give that impression.
Thoughts, yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to give that impression that he should be good moving forward, using powers at this point in time. I even hinted towards that by him bumping into his old friends, and they were actively using powers and seemed to not be a concern about that, right? That was my hints that it's safe now. And the whole point of having that like use 13 power points ability for him was like when they're actively searching for you, when you're in an area of it's like when the eye of Sauron is shifted in your direction, this gives you a means of being able to shield yourself from that view, right? It's not meant to be you can only use this to use your powers. Otherwise, it's cutting off his character at the knees and makes him useless, and it's not fun to play the game, right? So just want to make sure we're all on the same page because I'm not always super clear. You were saying something?
Yes, I understand now. I
was explaining to them, not you. Yeah, cool. You and I already talked. I was making sure they knew. So cool. All
Yeah,
right.
Mind Blank is great. It was just a case of I didn't know if I was able to use my abilities without using Mind Blank, but I can. That's the so basically it's like, oh, we find out there's a Lopa near us. Okay, now I activate Mind Blank.
Yep.
Sort of thing.
Yep, and the idea of recharging this item is very expensive and difficult to do.
Yes.
It's very expensive
Yes.
and difficult to do. So it's one of those like when he uses Mind Blank, that's like he has a limited window of these, and when they're gone, they're gone. So I mean, but I won't lie, those items are really cool. Those spells are really cool. They're meant to be enticing to use. All right, are we good to keep playing?
Yes.
You guys were going to go to get some rest. You were finally getting some sleep. Oh, Neil.
I was about to say there's a pretty big thing you need to tell Neil.
So I will allow Jake to say a line first, and then we will we'll get into the backstory. So Neil was more or less when he walked into the door with her, she gave the compliment to your horsey horse 2 weeks ago, as you know. You walked in the door. She more or less made everybody in that place throw their weapons down, throw them to the side. Had the tactician recruit
Got
There.
a field promotion, I see.
So he had the tactician recruit or whatnot, kind of give them some orders. But then she told you you're in charge of making sure that the front area here.
Oh no, she actually did.
She's like, you're keeping an eye on this, keep things clear. And then she went upstairs. And then there's a whole RP thing that you were not a part of, and Tesh left partway through. There's a bunch of RP things that happened. Anyways, you guys went back and you were trying to get some goddamn sleep, but instead of getting sleep, you're like, fuck, we found some some huge revelation. Let's head back in. So you guys go heading back into the place. Neil's character, Tristan, the only one that got proper sleep anyways. Tristan, like proper sleep for a long while. You guys got semi-proper sleep, but mechanically works. When you guys go back in to see Tristan, he has not been relieved from his duties of overseeing the area. So when you go walking in and there's a knock on the door and the door opens up to let the two of you in, you'll actually see Tristan there overseeing the area. Now, Tristan, to be clear, there's only been about a half dozen soldiers that are still held in captivity, no weapons and what have you, but they're held outside around back. They're not inside this building. You're actually overseeing about a dozen troops right now just for the security of this front area. And more or less your responsibilities are to make sure that people coming and going are noted as to who they are and their purpose is. Just while this place is on lockdown where they're trying to figure out more or less where loyalties lie. And you have not been given really any direct orders since you've been told to watch after this. So your responsibility has been pretty simple. And I imagine Tristan, being the kind person he is, has made some light conversation with the other soldiers because it feels awkward even commanding them to begin with, right? So that being said, you've had an uncomfortable time being given this small amount of leadership. You had an uncomfortable time, but at the same time, you've tried to make it as easy as possible because you seem like you're somewhat amicable. And you come from pretty humble beginnings. Unless you're going on a power trip. And you're like, I said shine my boots! You know? But so knock, knock, the door opens up. Jake and Tesh's characters will come walking in. I don't know if...
I just have a quick question about mechanics. So, we technically, now that we had the long rest, we technically did level, and we just can't assign, we didn't like refresh stuff, right?
We
correct.
did. That was before. No, that was before. You said we needed the hour, and I mean, look, we were screwing around doing nothing.
No. He definitely got the hour because he had the hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it was in the morgue or crematorium, right? Mm-hmm. Where were you that you were doing nothing for an hour? Because you were pretty active for a long while there.
I mean, we were at the inn for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you were actively doing stuff at the end.
Having like drinks and stuff. But I'll put it to you this way: if you think Viggo would not more or less prepare himself for the day, that's just
no. But my question isn't whether or not he would if he had the time. The question is, when did he have the time to do so? Because I genuinely don't remember you having a time.
I mean, how depending on how long we were at the inn. Because I mean, we weren't really doing much apart from when we started identifying those things.
I'm so sorry. What
inn
are you referring to?
Where we went to sleep before we started identifying the magic items and doing all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Yes. That was after you went to sleep before you realized stuff. Okay, gotcha. I will give that to you. Thank you for making that point. I couldn't remember what window you were referring to. Thank you, sir. Yes, you would have had that hour. And Tess, you already had your hour. So
so that then my question doesn't matter because I would have been able to swap around my
yes, sir,
my stuff in that hour. Cool.
Yes, sir. Cool.
Never mind.
All right. Not to be nitty gritty, but sometimes small limitations like that can be a game changer in the game.
Yeah.
So back to where you were. Neil, would you speak first as they're walking in, like to greet them, since you're the one that's in command here? Or would you think that one of them would speak to you before you said something to them?
I mean, what's the look on their faces like?
So they come. I mean, I imagine at first it's like they have a game face, like seriousness on, but it probably lighten up when they see you, just because you're like a good friend, and they haven't seen you in a day, and you guys like more or less live on each other's hip. So
I think Triss would smile slightly and step up to them and say, "Hello, chaps. What's your business?"
Jake?
Viggo would look at you and smile and say, Warden Tristan, how's your first command going?
Neil, so
what did I know you?
No, you did not. No.
So I would have been. Yeah, he was just Warden.
Pause. Neil, last session, she literally turns to your character and said, "You have like it's along these lines. You have command in this area. Yeah, you have command in this area, Warden Tristan, right? And I felt bad.
So
we all
it
felt
wasn't
bad that you
actually-
weren't here.
Yeah,
But-
it was so. We were just like, no.
But it was like the next
I
RP
know.
moment. It had to.
I know. I wish I'd been there last week. But...
Yeah, it's all good.
So
though.
you did the really awesome thing of like taking on like 14 people and not getting hit. So you at least got to do that part of it.
Yes, yeah. That was unpleasant actually. I was a bit worried until my AC went through the roof.
I remember him saying something like a 25. Does that hit? And you were like, no. I was like, what the
Not even
fuck?
close. Yeah, because I was in the full defense action. Oh,
Yes.
very good, very
Yes,
nice.
You were absolutely crushing it. So you were promoted to warden. Congratulations for your character, what have you. But I'm sorry. I'll let you guys continue your RP. I felt bad you weren't there, but it was a cool moment.
No, yeah, it needed to be done. I think Tris, he'd probably have his helmet under his arm at this point, and he'd like scratch the back of his head and say, "Right, yeah, Ward."
Well then.
Well, a proper congratulations is in order, but perhaps we'll leave it for another time. We've had some interesting news. It seems we have a way to trace the last member of the Black Knights, the gnome.
Good news, finally.
Yes. And we're here to see the field commander.
All right. Well, as far as I know, she's still up in the building, right, Scott?
Yeah. She is.
She's still up there. Don't embarrass me.
You could in theory go with them. You don't have to. Like something like this, he could say, more or less, come with us on this. I don't want you as a PC to be left behind. So he could say, I think you should come along with this because of how tied to the scenario you are, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Anyway, he could take us to a.
Yeah, he'd happily come in and announce you.
Okay, so your characters would go up to speak with where she is, and she would be up in the the office that she was using beforehand. So she would absolutely be up there. So you can just go and chat with her real quick. When you guys go walking into the room, or when you go knocking on it,
What just happened on stream?
I'm trying to get your title on there for you. It's gonna look a little wonky.
Oh, right. I was like,
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
It was a really weird week for me, as you can imagine, with the whole, everything going on. So even though this isn't the right color, I can at least get something going for you, right?
I get like a special plaque, guys.
Yeah, he gets a little shiny plaque.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
you're the
it's a
first of us
field,
to get
it's
a
a
promotion,
it's a field
so-
promotion, right? So it makes sense that it's ghetto.
Yes.
Like you should just spray paint it right on there,
yeah.
just like Comic Sans.
It's gonna be.
Not
It's gonna
even
be
better, like a name tag sticker on there.
I'm trying to do it like as I go. I'm like concentrating two things at once. So it says cryptic, same as Todd. That's what that one says. All right. Keep going though. Sorry. She says, come in, or she says, one of those come in, and she looks at the three of you and says, I gave you explicit orders.
We're with Pan as well.
Oh, that's right. Pan came with you, didn't she?
She's kind of key to this whole thing.
Yeah. She said, I give you explicit orders. Why are you ignoring them?
I'm sorry, Field Commander. Something has been brought to our attention that I didn't think you would want to wait on.
She doesn't she doesn't look amused, but she obviously is going to hear what you have to say because it was of enough importance that you ignored her order. So,
we have just learned that we have the ability to trace the last member of the Black Knights, the gnome mage that was. The mage was present at the thing, right?
As far as you can tell, at the actual
killing.
murder, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was present at the death of Commander? Is it Battle Commander.
Raylor.
Battle
Battle
Commander
Raylor.
Raylor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait on this till the morning, just to give you the option of how you'd like to proceed, but we do have the means to be able to track him.
Explain how.
He gestures to Pan to explain, because it's that way.
Pan nods and then says, well, the magic, there was a particular mage that had cast a spell at a time that someone came and killed the battle commander, the traitor, and the others that were in the building at the time. That same mage used magics to craft, and she presents these other items to craft these items here. I was able to identify like individual specific markers that belong to this mage versus any others. Just the way that they use spells, the way that they manipulate magic. It's just a way of kind of learning who, and she kind of explains that whole bit out, right?
Yeah.
And says these items belonged to that mage, and we have reason to believe that they're the ones that crafted these items because of what we've been able to identify about that mage so far. The idea is, now that we know they crafted these items, we know that this item right here likely is linked to another one, very, very similar. I have the ability to locate objects that I am very familiar with. There's a good chance that my attempting to cast locate object on the item that they have very similar to this one will work. It's not foolproof, and there's limitations to the spell and range and time and what have you. But it is possible that this could find them for us. She kind of leaves that sitting there. And so the commander looks to you and says, assuming you can identify where this mage is, how would you approach? You can't have a whole troop walking around with you. It'd be obvious. You'd tip them off.
If needed, I can go in stealthily to assess if it's a situation we wish to enter, if it is them or not.
She says, I understand, but if you are going into the scenario, like you're trying to find them, you're mentioning going in stealthy, but you have to find them first. How are you going to go about searching for them? As individuals? Points to Pan, her alone. What is your tactic here?
Would we have an idea of how locate object works?
Yeah. So Pan already explained it to you. You have a range. It's like a few hundred feet, and you have a duration, which is I think a minute per level. So it's not like
Okay, so
it's not
have to do it
forever.
in specific locations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have the ability, I believe. Do you guys have the disguise self potions? By any chance?
It's whether I
I
still
think
have it. I
Neil,
think I gave
Neil,
it to
yeah,
Neil.
Neil has one.
No, I do have one.
I
I
don't
had
have the
two. I
right
gave him
font
one.
on this computer. I think the issue is I don't have the right font on this computer, so it literally.
I
just-
have one on me as
Yeah,
well.
I gave you one, and I kept one for myself because I got 2 of them.
Yeah, I have 3. So, while we're searching, we have the ability to change how we look. So, those that have already seen us, it shouldn't trigger any alarms there. However, I was wondering if we may seek aid from the Arcane Congress on this. If it is a registered mage, maybe they have an address, which will make easier in locating. And if not, they may wish to send a representative themselves because the mage in question is operating unlicensed.
She thinks for a moment and says, I see the wisdom in your suggestion. Obviously, having the Arcane Congress involved when dealing with a mage and the information that you can get from them is quite valuable. However, anytime you get the Arcane Congress involved, there is additional lines of red tape that must be followed. You'll have certain procedures you must walk through, certain paperwork that must be filled out. Now, I don't mind paperwork. It can easily be pencil whipped. But the procedures that must be followed, you will have a degree of this task, a degree of the control of this task removed from you. If you were to approach this endeavor on your own, you will have full autonomy with my support. It'll give you expediency. If you get the mages involved, it will greatly slow down your efforts, but you'll likely get support unlike what can be provided for you by just you as individuals. With that knowledge in mind, she looks at the group of you, like she looks across the board, so not just looking for your officer's opinion. How would you care to approach?
This is meta. I wouldn't say this in character. I think we got lucky with the Arcane Congress guy we dealt with before. I think it's probably not a good idea to test that luck again. Unless we can deal with him specifically again.
I think that dealing with the Arcane Congress in this situation isn't a bad idea, but as she brought up, it slows us down. And the reason we are here was to not be slowed down. The only issue that I have, which, I mean, I'd say in character, my only concern is fighting in close quarters. Tristan is unrivaled on horseback. But this knight that killed the commander, him paired with the mage, hitting them inside a house or something might be unwise.
Yeah, I too am not the best in close quarters. I can do it. I can switch around stuff, and although that no, I can do it. It's just a little more dangerous. Given an extra day or an extra night, I can focus more into it, but it still won't be as good as my ranged combat.
This doesn't answer her question, so she stays quiet while listening. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
They are allied with, if they are under the Kingsguard protection now, to assault one of the Kingsguard safe houses or something like that might be a little too much for just three of us to handle. So whilst he's quiet.
Sorry. Kingsguard are complicated to attack. Black Knights, the attack against them makes sense. But the Kingsguard, the organization that's believed to be the Kingsguard, details about them are complicated. As far as I understand, they very much have the sway of the people. Attacking the Kingsguard outright is not seen as wise. If they were to attack us and we were to escalate the scenario, that'd be one thing. But without proof that the Kingsguard attacked us, just outright attacking them, they have the sway of the people. They could radicalize others.
Could we spin this? The Kingsguard might be held in regard by the people. The Black Knights are not. And if it comes to light that the Kingsguard are, how do you say, allied with the Black Knights, or at least sheltering them from punishment, could change a few minds. Not overnight.
Not everyone disliked the Black Knights. Like they lied about what they were doing and tried to pretend.
Gonna mute Neil because I can hear Chloe.
They tried to pretend that they were doing the stuff the Kingsguard were. Some people believed them, some people didn't.
Yeah, they have like a mixed opinion, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Tesh's recollection is correct.
Yeah.
But at least with the Black Knights, you can see why people would be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know. So.
Our only sort of bet is we can find him and cap capture him when he's not under the protection of the King's Guard.
Or his own protections. You're referring to a mage here. Have any of you ever gone toe-to-toe with a mage who was adequately prepared for the combat?
Yes, it's in.
Not
the thing
one
is,
that
in
knows he's
meta,
being
I would
hunted.
say yes, but yes, and it was dangerous.
I can tell
Yes.
you this.
I think that the magic is magic.
Yeah, she says, I can tell you this. If an opponent has their guard up, it's going to be a very different fight than if you catch them off guard. And if an opponent has a moment to drink even 1 or 2 potions prior to that fight, the fight is going to greatly misbalance from its original footing. And if they have a few spells to add on that as well, you are dealing with an entirely different scenario. This mage likely knows that you're looking for them. So discretion is one of the most important things that you're going to have to focus on. Now, I do understand you're wanting to get the Arcane Congress involved. I am sympathetic to this plan. I won't go so far as to say I prefer it, because I'm not sure if I prefer it. But I can tell you that if you get the Arcane Congress involved, it will slow you down and likely tip them off. But you will also have significantly more might on your side when you engage with them, when you inevitably engage with them. So you need to make the decision before you leave this office. Are you going to the Arcane Congress, or are you handling this as individuals?
What do you guys think? This is out of character. This is just so we can, because we will be making a decision. What do you guys think? Out of
I don't
character.
know.
I think if we can get them unawares, we're going to be much more likely to, one, be able to make sure that it's not an attack on the King's Guard themselves, and two, we can get them unaware.
Yeah. Alternatively, if the Kingsguard hear that this gnome is marked for targeting by the Arcane Congress, do you think they're still going to protect him versus the Arcane Congress?
That's a good point.
Bearing what everyone knows about the Arcane Congress, but maybe they don't want to say.
That's a very good point.
I don't know. I mean, against a mage, I have a will and a reflex of 4 and 5, respectively.
Well, that's pretty solid for your level. You know what I mean? Because you have to assume, let's assume the DC is a 15. It's a 55% chance, right? So, anyways, Pan will chime in at this point and say, I have no interest in engaging with this individual. I will go so far as to provide aid in discovering them, but I am not meant for the fight. I learn things, I discover things, and I report the things that I discovered. I don't typically get my hands dirty. It's not my specialty. And Viggo's sitting there like, I remember when that was remember when I could say that.
I mean, I still say that.
What do you think, Jake?
Then he gets claws and literally gets them dirty inside someone's gallbladder.
Listen, that's happened twice, all right? Think how many combats we've been in? 3? 4? All right. I really don't know. I mean, the safer option is to go with the AC. It's the smarter and the safer option, but at the same time, it leaves more time to prepare if they're tipped off.
Yeah.
So
Look,
we can
I
either
think-
hope, maybe catch them unawares, but the risk is big, in my opinion.
I mean, if we catch them unawares outside, then
Yeah.
we win, right?
There's
Unless
risk
they-
reward for there's a bigger risk reward with going on our own. There's a more guarantee. There's more guarantee, but it'll be harder if we go the other route, I think. So it's like there's a smaller range for result on going with the Arcane Congress, larger range for result for going on our own. I think, given everything, all the chaos we've been through, I think I actually might agree with going with the Arcane Congress. gets more guaranteeing, and I think Neil's right in might get the Kingsguard to not be involved with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's the better option of the two.
Let's go with that.
Whether it works out or not, I think it is the better option.
She nods and says, so as you say, I truly think it's a better option, Field Commander. She nods and says, very well. You're going to go and work with the Arcane Congress. Is this a decision that's being made?
Yes.
I want to have a degree of control over the scenario. I don't want the Arcane Congress completely taking the command of the situation from you. Unfortunately, as things as they are, that is exactly what they have every right to do. And to circumvent that and to make sure there is a degree of control in your hands and so therefore in my hands, congratulations, Lieutenant Centurion. You're being promoted to a rank that can outstep some of their command of some of their command.
Thank you, Field Commander.
Oh shit.
She says, I would tell you to immediately go and speak to those that would have a new outfit tailored for you. Unfortunately, as you can imagine, that is not exactly easy at the moment. Sorry, a new outfit crafted for you, but unfortunately that's not, or tailored, whatever. Yeah, that's right. A new outfit tailored for you, but unfortunately that's obviously, as you tell, not something we could really have done. Instead, we will have one made adjustments for you. If you can go, and she kind of like gives direction to what have you. She says, see them. They'll have one ready for you in the next few hours. I expect that you'll be wearing that during your interactions with the Arcane Congress. We don't need you looking like you just got a promotion.
He give a salute and say, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Man, get that Vig Foo!
Vig
Foo! That's gonna be like you walk into the bar now and your friend's like, Vig Foo! Sorry.
I give up alchemy, become a monk, start and like have my own little gym thing.
Vig Foo!
You're good. You're good.
It's still Earlish. It's still Earlish.
Earlish. That's I hate when you typo when trying to explain your typo because it's got that extra feeling of, oh, for fuck's sake.
I think Earlish was intentional, which says volumes in another direction.
Oh yeah, that's fair as well. Yeah.
No judgment. No judgment. No judgment.
Yeah.
Yep, that was definitely intentional. So, Earlish. What she meant was she was saying that she's feeling a little regal. She's feeling a little like an earl. It's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna shut up. No, V-Sword. We love you. It's all good. No. Yeah, totally.
I'd like to just note that I was entirely silent during this roasting of V-Sword. And I don't condone your actions.
To be fair, I was empathizing by giving examples of how I feel in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for the big food. I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love.
I've actually been a long time student of Big Foo. Yeah, I'm a third grade belt.
I know Big Foo.
Because you are on the phone. Wow.
And yet you were the one who suggested to. Woo!
What did I miss on this?
Right. So if V-Sword's having a bad dream, if you kill V-Sword, V-Sword can no longer have any bad dreams, right? Am I correct? Yeah. Is this a way to end the bad dreams? Yes or no?
We here in the Scooter Squad do not support or agree with the statements of our individual members.
And that is why basic AI is dangerous, because AI would be like, yes, correct.
Yeah, the logic is sound.
Logic is there.
Look, and to be clear, Rosen was the one who suggested murder.
Yeah, but I mean that's raw. I mean she's New Zealand. My only experience with New Zealanders is murder. So, like every New Zealand, like you do realize that 26 minutes ago a trump card was dropped by a New Zealander.
Oh no.
Damn. Well.
I'm
We've
just
made
saying.
a good choice going with the Arcane Congress, but it also is likely gonna fuck us.
Grab your ankles, boys. There ain't no lube today.
Well, that'll be fun. All right, let's go.
All right, moving on. So
I'm fairly certain that this trump card can't take effect now because you mentioned it before it happened. It's like a dream, right? If you talk about it, it won't.
It's already happened.
Oh fuck.
There's a knock on the door.
I'm gonna
It's already happened. Knock on the door.
I'm
Come
going
on,
to
baby,
very,
knock
very
on my
quickly be
door.
right back.
Oh, Tasha's
I
gonna
said
go
I'm-
shit himself.
Look, I'm on that vibe too, so I'm gonna.
She says, Tristan, could you get that for me? Neil, you're muted.
I guess Tris would.
Okay. I don't know if you got the joke there, but they both turned their cameras off. You were the only one left, which is why I said Tristan.
Fine, don't worry about it.
So
I'm the natural choice to get the door anyway.
Of course. She just wants to send you while you get up and walk over there. So, you,
Did you just objectify my bum?
yes.
Just Tash in the background.
She's like, I like ham.
Oh my god, Norway is in on this. He's like, pizza delivery, extra sausage. My god.
Everyone likes a little pork in the morning. So anyways,
I love that Zoom picks up that stuff from the other side of my house. Discord cuts it out. I'm sad.
if I get this new job, my reward to myself is I'm getting myself a new chair, and I'm probably gonna get myself a Bluetooth headset specifically so I could like walk around a bit more. So, because I don't like sitting as much as I do, and if I'm gonna be sitting 40 hours a week for a desk job here, I want to make sure that I can actually like move a bunch so I don't go crazy. So I'm probably gonna change things up a whole bunch. So, but anyways, for now,
you should change it so your rig is against the other wall, so that you can stare up at the small jail cell window there.
the long curtains, make it look like there's a proper window there, instead of like it still doesn't even like there's still not even the inslit for like the windowsill area. So it's literally still you can see where the 2x4 is, the drywall is connected to, and like the insulation behind it in the cement. So yeah, I still haven't bought the insert yet. All right, or built one. I can always build one too. But that's one of those things where I'm like, Dad, help me, I'm incompetent. So anyways, the where were we? I'm sorry. Knock on the door. So knock on the door. You get up and you go open it, and you see there's one of the other soldiers standing there, and they say, "Field Commander, I have urgent news coming from the docks." And she looks to the rest of you and says, "It seems as though your decision has been made." Dismissed.
Oh yeah, we don't need to know apparently what that
Alert.
means is. So
Okay, so each of you are going to get up and start walking out. And what you hear in there, what you hear coming from the inside is, like as you are walking out, Commander, it's extremely urgent. There's a ship that has pulled up into the docks, and it's full of unnatural creatures. Madam, I don't think that they're, and the door shuts, and you don't hear the other word. Unless you could beat a DC 30 a DC 30 perception check, because
All right,
do it,
as the
Tash.
door snaps shut. So it's like right as it's audible.
No! Oh, lock it.
I don't think we have any luck.
No! Oh! Oh! And that's what happens when you shit on V-Sword.
Oh,
That's what happens. You shit on V-Sword.
Actually,
you fail.
Actually, Tesh was doing the aid other
No,
action.
that doesn't aid in this scenario.
He was holding a glass to the door.
Oh, ow!
crystal glass.
It's fine. It's fine. Viggo's got 2 eardrums. He can live with that one.
It's all right. Tesh was assisting me.
We just had that
Okay?
conversation.
Assisting.
That's the
I'm
joke
sorry,
we
I
were
was-
making.
That was
Anyway,
so harsh.
let's,
Poor Jake.
Let's go there.
Jake's little face just fell. You're a
It's
bad
heartbroken.
man.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you don't want to pay attention while we're playing, that's I get it. That's
Sorry.
fine.
Oh God.
Oh, sorry. All right. So, anyways, Neil's like, I'm not even rolling.
Today is just it's harsh.
I'm very antsy today. I'm hoping to get word today. Like today's the day that I should get the call, the unofficial offer. So that tomorrow I get the letter. Like,
Don't do that face on the Zoom if you get told you've got the job. You do that face and it's just like cancel letter.
yeah.
Burn it now.
Okay. So let's keep going. Oh, Tash, no. Good vibes, Tash. Anyways, so continuing. The you don't hear what they finish saying because of like the snapshot of the door. Is there
What
like
will
an
you do?
exchange of looks out there? Oh, actually, I can roll for one more person. Pan is technically there too. Want me to roll for Pan?
What will you do if you get invited to one more interview, but it's a physical in-person interview, and you go and there's a sofa on one side of the room and a camera in the other?
I would say the left side's my good side. I don't have the snaggletooth. No, the closest person.
Then I think we get like a close up of Scott appearing on the internet. My name is Scott, and I'm 29. I'm a waiter at.
The closest living person, she used to live in Cambridge. She now lives in upstate New York. So that'd be like a 4-hour plus drive to go see the closest person. Yeah. The closest co-founder.
Bit more than 4
lives in-
hours from Cambridge, mate.
Wrong game.
Wrong Cambridge. Excuse me. We have Harvard and MIT in our Cambridge. What do you have?
Cambridge.
Yeah, I know. But what good has come from Cambridge University? I mean, how many of your prime ministers have come from Cambridge that you are not proud of? All of them?
No, they all come from Oxford.
I'm pretty sure the douchebag that just left like 3 years ago, David Tennant, or whatever his name was, wasn't he from Cambridge?
Let's not slag off David Tennant here. Come on. He seems like a nice bloke. But I'm going to Google it. David.
What was his name? Umbridge? I don't know. Is it? Oh, he's a shitty person. What was his name? I don't remember.
Education. University of Oxford.
Damn it! I thought I had it.
Oh,
They all go to
Because he
Oxford
had
and
the
minus 10
he
points.
had the
Pig
coattails.
fucking. The pig fucking.
Coattails.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
just gloss over that.
All right. Well, I think it was him they were mocking when they did the Black Mirror episode. So, but either way. So, the perception check, she failed miserably. She tried. Even Tristan probably would have done better. So, what was I getting at? My apologies. So yeah, you hear the door snap shut. I don't know if you guys exchange words about this at all, or if you try to listen in at all. Huh. Never mind. She's better than you. Do you try to listen in? Do you try to like eavesdrop in there?
You told me the DC just literally cannot pass it.
I know you're
He's
good.
got
You didn't have to roll.
0.
I'm moving forward. Do you guys stick
There's a
around to try to listen
sigh.
into the conversation, or do you walk away? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tesh.
There's a sigh from Galen. Just like, good. More exotic. He's not going to say this, but he's thinking, good. More exotic creatures. Let's hope they're not exotic and that they look parent but a little different.
That's legitimately
That
funny.
would be bad.
Yeah. That's legitimately funny. So, any responses from Jake or Neil?
No.
Okay.
Just hope we don't have to deal with it ourselves.
All right. Sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't listening. What am I?
Doesn't
listening
matter.
to?
Doesn't matter. So
Oh,
you guys
no,
go walking
no.
off.
We walked out the door, and the only interaction that's happened is Galen sighed at what we heard, just like, God damn it. Moving on.
So you guys are walking down the stairs when Pan says, "So, no offense, Lieutenant Centurion, but I am not under your commands, nor am I under the command of the field commander. So I'm not going along with your little game here. I'm just going to get started. I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to do a bit of research without being noticed, because that's usually what I do."
Good luck. Hope to hear from you soon.
She
Might be
nods.
dangerous for you.
She looks at you and gives you kind of like a coy smile and says, "Are you worried?"
Well, yeah, I've seen one of your agents once, and I've not seen him since, so...
Oh, he's probably just lying low.
In a ditch.
Oh.
Oh, I fucked that up. That was meant to be no, my duck's not my basket. No, my duck's not my basket.
I'm just reading on my dicks.
Not my duck, not my ducks, not my ducks, not my ducks, not my ducks, not my
Yeah,
ducks,
no,
not my
I
basket.
copy pasted wrong. It was meant to be not my ducks, not my basket. Because the idea is like, it's just like, not my problem, not my problem, not my problem, not my problem.
Yeah. It's not my clowns, not my circus, or not my.
Yeah,
Whatever it is,
exactly. That
rodeo.
kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, continuing on. So you are brain power broken thing.
Scott's been fully derailed. Why
Yeah,
don't
I
you get
have.
yourself a coffee, my dude? A
It's
warm
not my
coffee.
circus, not my monkeys. Yeah, that's a good one as
It's
well.
literally cold. It's like 60 degrees. It's cold.
Iced coffee.
That's it, V-Sword. But back to game. I want to try to find focus here. I want to get into the actual story.
Not my fish, not my leg. Yeah, I've heard a bunch of
My
different ones.
monkeys.
I've heard that. I have heard that
Circus
before.
arty.
Yeah. But trying to. Sorry, I'm trying to get back into the. We're all over the map and being goofy.
So Pan is going to head
So
off.
Pan's fucking off to go do her own thing. You guys are walking down, and Neil, you're relieved. You can go. Warden Tristan is able to continue on. So
I relieve myself.
Yes, right there in the middle of the floor is disgusting. Next time, we'd appreciate if you at least lay down some newspapers. In the meanwhile, you leave the mess behind, as well as the building behind you. It is
Wait,
nighttime.
I'm free?
I mean, I like to think that you're quite costly, but
I was given a sock?
actually, it was a dirty pair of panties. But okay, doesn't matter. Still equal value. Equal value. Don't ask who they were, and don't ask what that stain is. But equal value.
We probably have some paperwork to fill out, don't we?
Really? 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 Galen's like, God, guys, I'm so glad we got a bit of time off. Should we do some paperwork, lads?
I meant
Right?
like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms
We're
of
like,
requesting
fuck.
the aid of the fucking arcane.
Yeah, I
Congress.
know.
So you'll do that. You'll do that with the Arcane Congress. The point I was
Oh,
getting
okay,
to is it's nighttime, as you know, because you're supposed to go into rest. But it's not like in the middle of the night. It's not like it's like 10 o'clock or something have you. So do you want to head to the Arcane Congress now or wait till the morning?
That's the normal protocol for this stuff.
Yeah. So is it the sort of thing like what do we know about how this works? Do we petition them and then they get back to us?
Oh, you know that you're going to go there and fill out a bunch of paperwork, and then that gets the ball rolling.
Oh, so we're probably going to do. So we could probably go there, do that tonight, and then rest tonight while we wait for them to respond the next day, sort of thing.
Sure, that sounds great. So you want to head over there now?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Are they open 24/7? Can we Google it? Like, what does Google say? Is this is this a peak
does
time?
Google say what are their opening hours?
They're open now. Don't worry about it.
Fine, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll get the ball rolling, then we can go rest.
V Sword, it's the next rank up from champion.
Yep. If you go to the Kingdom Characters channel under Inactive Games in the Discord channel, so in the Discord server, you'll be able to see all the different ranks. So, anyways, continuing. So you're gonna head over to the what are they called? The Arcane Congress to start trying to petition for some aid. So the Arcane Congress is going to so as you go walking in to speak with them, the person that's at the front desk, you can see that they're probably just a lower Congress member. They're not gnomish. This happens to be a person, and they happen to be just a what's the word I'm looking for? A parent that's sitting there. So they look up at you and say, "Good evening to you lot. Is this something I could assist you with?"
Yes, we would like to request aid from the Arcane Congress on behalf of the Peridot military.
It's a military request. Oh, obviously,
It
sorry.
is, right?
Jump cut back. You got tailored first. You got like a
Yes.
something
Oh,
made for
that's
you
right,
first.
yeah.
Whatnot. Yeah. Then you went there. So you're actually wearing your fresh. Like again, it's not tailored for you. It was adjustments made, but still
Yep.
new to you, right? Anyways, off the rack. So
And we are doing this on behalf of the military, correct?
correct. So you're not
Yeah.
paying for this out of your pocket. Correct. So they say, oh, on behalf of the military, of course, Lyson. Is this something that is relatively public information, or is this meant to be is it more secretive?
The second. And it needs to be handled in with haste, with all haste that we can manage.
They nod. They produce a few pieces of paper, and they say, if you could just fill out these forms right here. This is to request aid of the Arcane Congress. And then they pull out a few more. If you could fill out these ones right here. This is to request aid on behalf of the military. Pulls out two more. This is for the secrecy. To make sure that we, of course, maintain all details classified as needed. And they pull out 5 more papers, and they say, this one right here is going to be for expediency. If you can just go ahead and fill out these documents, then I will get things started for you.
Yeah, so Viggo reads them all thoroughly and fills them out.
Sure, go ahead and make me a linguistics check.
In doing this, also, I will help myself. And I will...
You're going to help yourself.
Yeah,
Right here.
I resisted that joke appeared to me as well, and I'm like, I'm going to leave it. And then Scott went for it.
Bro, low hanging fruit.
right, where is that? There we go.
It's the only fruit that Scott can reach, remember?
I'm 5'10". 5'10". I'm the tallest person on the stream. God damn it.
Slightly better.
I'm 5'11". Fuck, I'm 5'11". Oh my god, it's been. Oh, my god.
Your story's changing.
You guys are like knocking me down because I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11". Now all of a sudden I'm shorter because of you. God.
Clip it.
Oh, I hate you all so much.
5'10", he confirmed it again.
Oh my god.
How the Viking managed to pay attention for that one.
It says literally all on all of my medical documents, my license and everything. I'm 5'11", damn it. I will be 5'10" eventually, though. I am 36. So, all right. All right, where were we? Linguistics check. How are you helping yourself, sir? Oh, I understand. Investigative mind.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean you aid. You take the better of the two results, correct?
Yep, that is correct.
All right. Is there anything you can do to modify that further, or are you just happy with the 16?
I should have looked at my spell list because I could have helped myself out, but
You go right ahead. If you had the time to do this beforehand.
it would change my modifier. So by one.
Then in that case, that's fine.
Yeah.
So anyways, I hate you, Viking. So so a 16 means that you have a reading comprehension. So it's like if you've ever read any legal documents, you're like, I understand these words, but you don't necessarily understand the full context and phrasing and what have you these words are put in, because your character doesn't have legal training, right? Like you didn't go to school for this sort of a thing, no matter how brilliant your character happens to be. So you have an understanding of what the words mean and the general idea of what these documents are. But if there's any like hidden phrasings or whatnot inside here, you wouldn't necessarily pick them up because the nuance is too tight, like it's too specific. So but you do read over the documents, you do have a what you believe to be a strong understanding of them, and then you just start filling them out. Unfortunately, it takes time because things are phrased in such a way that it's one of those you have to read the sentence 3 or 4 times, like, yeah, okay, that's referring to. Then like turn back 2 pages. Oh, it's referring to this over here. Then you like sign it and you move on. By the time you're on like the 7th page, you're referring back to the 2nd, the 3rd, the 5th page. By the time you're on the 11th page, you're literally cross-referencing multiple points on all of the other pages. It's like doing your taxes. It's miserable. But eventually, over an hour later, you're finishing up the paperwork and you've already seen almost all the rest of the Arcane Congress members walk out the door. And this person's sitting there and they're giving you that polite customer service face. Like, of course, I'm here to help you, but also I'm late to dinner because you're not done yet. Like, so by the time you finish filling out the paperwork and you hand it to them, they go, absolutely. I'll make sure these get processed immediately when we open tomorrow.
I did fill out the one for expediency, right?
You want overnight document? You want overnight processing?
Oh God, no!
I do.
They pull out 4 more documents for you to go to,
no,
and hand you back the other pack.
I sit down and I read through them and sign them.
Look, mate, between you and me, right? This needs to be done ASAP. It's important. I understand you have a life to get to, but could you not just do it overnight and we give you the paperwork tomorrow morning? It'll save you time. You'll get done quicker. We get done quicker. Everybody's happy.
Nods and says, while I appreciate the obvious concern that you have for my enjoyment of the evening, leaving the tone nice and thick there, they continue with, rules is rules, and I'm not one for breaking laws. Don't know about you.
Fair enough. Don't want to walk home when it gets dark in this town, that's all.
They again give you that like sarcastically appreciative smile. And then they allow the next 15-20 minutes to pass as Jake then has to cross-reference all the other papers to make sure it's filled out correctly.
I was going to say, like, I would help, but Galen has no points in linguistics, so he can't help.
Wow. That clip is called It's Official. He shrunk an inch.
Fantastic.
I hate
I love that. I love the lack of context.
Oh, God damn it. But my lower back problems I'm having right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Hyper compressed. So anyways, you finish filling out the paperwork and then eventually you leave. And instead of them like locking up and leaving behind you, they then have to go and call. They have to wait for, you actually hear them mumbling it to somebody else as they're walking out. They now have to have a notice sent to the person who's going to handle the overnight processing. And they have to wait here until that person returns to start processing the paperwork overnight.
So is there not
they
like
work for the Arcane Congress. I didn't force that upon them.
Is there not like a
rules
form that we can do to commend them that they have to wait longer for us to like, can we have a commendation form?
What?
Can we have a commendation form so that we can like write how good they were, but it's another form, so it takes them even like they have to wait for that one as well.
Like I would like to give like more or less like a suggestions box or like a survey
Yeah.
or what have you. Yeah.
Do you have anywhere to leave reviews? Oh, you want the review form? Yes, please.
Well, he says, yeah, you got the form. Yes, please. The short form or the long form?
Long one. Yes, yes, very good. But then you get Tris to do
They
it.
pull
So it's
11 more pages. Most of the questions leave like it's just a big area to fill out, and it says, "Please use any and all space available." Anyways, so
Gentlemen, this is a place of sadness.
anyways, so you truthfully, this is a place that Erwin would be very happy. Let's just say he'd be walking with his longsword out. So you would
Wow.
you guys would finally finish filling out all this paperwork. You would eventually leave the Arcane Congress. So you when you guys leave, where is it that you are going? What's your plan? I assume you're just resting for the night.
I'd imagine so.
Okay. Do you want to go to a tavern, grab a drink, talk about your promotions, like a minor, like we'll do something more proper later, but at least a quick cheers now? Or do you want to like just go, fuck it, let's, even though we just got some rest, I'm still kind of like groggy from the day beforehand. Let's just go to sleep.
I wouldn't mind a drink before we go back to the FC's place. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Just one.
Yeah. So you guys can head to a tavern and just go grab a drink. Feel free to
Just
RP
like
through it.
like something that's like even if it's not like a like Galen probably wouldn't full finish the drink, but it's more the like symbolic of like celebration thing. Have a drink, have a chat, and then go pass out.
Is there a particular kind of location that you would want to go to for a drink? Like, is there an area of the city that you're familiar with for where you would want to be near to get said beverage, or like is it just a random spot?
What was that first tavern we went to? That was.
I was about to say, what
Is
if we
it
go
far?
back to that first tavern?
It shouldn't be too far now. The one where
Why
you
don't we
were,
go there?
the one where you bumped into Pan, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sure. So you can go there and go and grab yourself a beverage. Let's just say that the feeling of the place has shifted since everything's transpired, right? But there's still people in there drinking. There's still like it was quieter before. That little party brought like a bunch of drinks. There was the whole growing thing. All that thing was funny, whatever. So you guys go in there. They recognize who you are. You definitely sit down. And when the bartender eventually hears that you're celebrating promotions, because again, remember, Viggo, I think it was Viggo that made them a bunch of money before because what he was doing, right? So they'll actually be nice and be like, promotion, eh? Cheers. And they'll offer you like the second drink that you like after you order a drink, they give you a second drink on the house. But either
I
way,
think Viggo was in disguise last time.
but they would recognize the other two schmucks.
Yeah.
Disguise the mustache.
Exactly.
Either way, so cheers. They offer it to you to be like nice or whatever, and then you guys are able to have your RP amongst yourselves.
Well, congratulations are in order. You good?
It's been a busy few days.
Yeah, it has.
Long time coming, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, there weren't any guards to punch this time, so
Seems
well, there were, but we were allowed to punch them.
seems like a lot of people died.
Yeah.
I think we caused that. Or you think it was a long time coming?
I think if we didn't head this off when we did, it would have been a lot worse.
I agree. Given that alliance had just been made, I think things were about to get a lot worse really fast.
Hmm.
I understand the line of thought, and I do regret that. But I think if we hadn't done what we did, it would have gotten a lot worse.
Definitely. I mean,
maybe.
We're close to completely taking out one of the terror cells here. That's an achievement.
Hell yeah.
Not only that, I mean, to find out that they're now allying with 2 different other cells, we've struck a tremendous blow, and we should be proud of it. People have died, and it is sad. I mean, the BC himself was a he was a good fella. He had a good heart, and he had what's best for Paradel in this region. But like I said before, if we didn't strike this blow now, think of the devastation that could have come from all 3 of them. Not only that, but with the traitors in the military itself. I shudder to think.
Indeed.
Maybe you're right.
This is, as much as I'd prefer it wasn't, a combat zone. And unfortunately, being in a combat zone is risky. But they died helping remove a terrorist cell, and that's something to be proud of.
Well, not long now when hopefully we'll be removing the last piece off the board.
Indeed. It will definitely get harder from here, but it needs to be done. And maybe eventually the people of this town can actually get some peace and quiet.
Paradel's let them down. We're supposed to free people from this sort of strife. Now I think our petty bureaucracy is getting in the way of what Paradel's meant to do. They won't accept help from other regions. They won't ask for help from other regions. The home states aren't embattled. Why aren't we sending more troops, more people out? Surely there's more we can do than this.
As a whole, sure. But the Dween here has started. He sent us here, whether he has minds on the region or not. Look at what we've done in a week, in about a week. We're not wanted here.
The Dween here is doing right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Change comes, but it comes slowly. And we're right at the forefront. Be proud, Kristen.
I am proud. But I wish more princes were like the River King. Imagine what this would be like if there weren't just the 3 of us. The 3 of us from every region in the home states. Different skills, different abilities. We've been stretched thin these past few days. Even with the help of crows, 2 of them. The 2 of you have caught barely a wink of sleep.
Yeah.
Well, that may be. Like you said, the Dween here has started. And since we've been with him, his realm is growing. With more power comes more responsibility, and the more he can change parts of Paradel.
Indeed.
We're on the right side.
Chris would raise his drink.
Yeah.
Viggo also.
For the River King.
Yeah.
Waiting for Gallon's die roll.
What? Oh, I didn't know I had to do a perception check. My bad.
It seems that he failed his perception check.
I did. I failed my perception of doing a perception. Oh, wait, minus. Oh, you'll apply on your side. Okay, I did terribly anyway.
Yeah, with
That's
a 3
appropriate.
with a 3 and 2 12s, you guys don't pick up anything quite just yet. So you guys
Well-
finish. Oh, sorry, please.
I was gonna say, well, sounds like tomorrow's gonna be the start of another or a couple long days again. So we should get some rest.
Yep.
Indeed.
Oh, by the way, the apartment is a little trashed.
Well, we did book rooms at that other inn, so
Let's go back to that.
There, then.
yeah.
I don't know whether we should leave the FC unprotected.
you want to sleep in the barracks?
She does have a good number of soldiers with her, and she seems to have grasp of the situation. But you can still offer to do that, of course.
If you wouldn't mind, Elson.
Don't mind at all. And Viggo will finish his drink and stand up to go.
Indeed.
Jess will do the same. That means you have to look after him. He'd look at Galen.
I'll do my best. And if I need surgery afterwards, he'll be there.
So you notice anything particular inside the inn? Nothing. There's conversations and what have you, whatnot around you, but nothing like caught your ear. Nothing that was of a particular interest while you were in there. I do want
Just a
something.
literal snake person staring at us the entire time. None of us noticed. Yeah.
Interesting.
So could I get a
Reflex.
knowledge nature check, please?
Oh,
from?
yes, you can.
From?
Yes,
All of you?
can.
I'm not trained
So
in this skill.
I can't. Can Virgil?
Sure.
Cool. Because we are technically linked at the moment.
I'm not trained. It's not a class skill, Scott.
That's fine. That just means you can only cap out of 10, but you don't have to roll.
Honestly, not bad. That's an 8 out of 10.
Wow, I see a 15, and the result of an
page
8,
is
that looks like
lagging.
you have a -7.
There we go.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's not good.
What? No, I got a 9 minus 1.
No, I know, but the because you guys click so close.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Right.
I love how I'm bothering to roll when we have fucking Viggo over here.
Would your spell still be in effect? How long does that thing last? 10 minutes per level. I mean, you guys are only level 6, and you originally did the investigative thing how long ago?
You said it was about 40 minutes, right?
I mean, yeah, you would have cast that at the beginning of
Well,
yeah,
then, I mean,
just take the first
leave
result,
The first
yeah,
one
yeah.
if you want.
just
Yeah.
the first one. Yeah. Because that was a while ago. So, anyways, yeah, you take it 29. Now you walk outside. God damn it, this fog has not gone away, and it's been days. But one of the things that you notice is like it's nighttime. It's cool now. Short fog can roll in at nighttime. More often than not, it really like rolls in during the as the sun's coming up.
Oh,
and
I
things
didn't-
are starting to. You're good.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to extend it to read because I was going to go through and read them quickly.
You're good.
To remind myself.
So the usually it's going to be like closer to the morning hours. That it's really like the sun starts to like raise the water off of like the various plants, turn into the water vapor, which like enhances the fogs. But not only is this fog gone, it's starting to seem unnatural. Like you almost get like this fog, just even the way how thick it is, just has this unnatural kind of feeling to it, which you hadn't felt until this evening. It's one of those things that maybe you would have noticed it when you first left the barracks heading over here, but there were so many things on your mind. Now as you're leaving here, sure, there's still a lot on your mind, but like you're finally starting to like relax a bit, and as your mind is wandering off, Viggo, you start to just look around and just realize like this fog just feels very thick and unnatural. It's kind of off-putting.
Galen, I think we might go back to the barracks as well. This fog is... I don't think it's natural. We should hurry.
Fuck. It's just with that, it's like the R fuck is his resignation of yep, and he'll pick up the pace.
Okay.
Maybe not get as much rest as we hoped.
You're good. So you are going to make your way downtown, walking fast, fog past, barracks bound.
Not the barracks anymore. Whatever building is now the new barracks.
Yeah. The outpost area that you're going to.
Yeah.
So you're heading over to there. Knock on the door. We're just looking to grab up a couple of beds. They'll be like, yeah, we can do that for you. Just give us a moment to get some space. And so they go and they point to a spot for both Galen and Tristan, which is more or less a blanket on the floor, because that's like the space they have for it. And they take Viggo over to where it is that he can have a bed. And you can see shortly, like as you're walking in there, you realize the person that was walking out a little bit earlier, looking half asleep and disgruntled, holding a bunch of stuff in their arms, most likely just got ejected from their bed to make space for you.
Oh.
But you're able to go in and find a space to pull up some carpet and take a nap. So you guys are able to sleep throughout the night. I don't know if there's anything particular that you want to do or.
Just of note, Galen would be sort of like almost, instead of laying down on the floor, he'd probably be against a wall, sort of sitting up in a sort of meditative state, and that's when how he would go to sleep. He would sort of like force himself to sleep almost.
Gotcha. Just like brain shut down.
Yeah, it triggers his own off switch.
Auto hypnosis, sleep.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So, one of my favorite things is when I wake up Rory in the morning, and she says, "Not yet. I want to finish my dreams." And I'm like,
Oh.
it's like one of the best things. So cool. It's even.
And then you like slam your hand down on the bedside table and you're like, dreams aren't real. 9 till 5 is real.
Bro, you want to get ahead in life? It's not 9 to 5. It's 8:15 to 7.
Yeah, okay, yeah, nice.
And you fucking answer that text when your boss hits you up at 11:30 at night.
Oh God.
Yeah. You think I'm joking? Thursday, I'm going to be at a farm flower picking, and I have a conference call during that time. And my wife was like, no. No. And if it was just me, I would totally be on it. But my wife's there, and she's like, no, you will not be on that call. I was like, well, I can just put it in a headphone and put it in my pocket, and that way I can, and then I just like listen while she's like, no, absolutely not. No. I'm like,
I got a email out of hours today from my boss, except I'm okay with this one because it says I'm not on this weekend.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll take that one.
I always answer my boss when they hit me up though. Like I'm that guy. You know what I mean? It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Well, the only reason why I do it is because my sleeping schedule is so all over the place thanks to the chronic fatigue. So I'll sleep during the day, and so I have to answer them whenever the fuck I get them because I'll get them at weird hours.
I just don't mind. I only just don't want to really do things when I'm on vacation. That's the only time. But
yeah, that's fair.
yeah, no, that's and I don't like bothering other people when they're on vacation. That always bugs me out.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. Don't answer this text. Anyways, I wish there was a way because unfortunately at work we don't have work and personal cell phones. So like this is what you use for everything, right? I wish there was a way to like put all of the people that you know from work into one group and specifically have that group get an auto text back. My apologies, I'm on vacation. I'll answer you as soon as I come back.
Yeah.
Right? Like that way.
Unfortunately, with sorry, go on.
No, please.
I was just saying, unfortunately, with my work, we do a lot of the people I work with do have work numbers, not me or my coworker because we are casual.
Yeah.
But a lot of other people do. The issue is because we work on weekend, a lot of the times they have to give us their home number because they're not going to be at work. So we deal with their home number, which results in exactly that situation of, oh God, I'm sorry, no, you go back to doing what you're doing.
So like if you call me when I'm driving, my phone is going to auto respond to you saying, "I'm driving right now. I'll respond as soon as I get an opportunity." Right? That
That's
way,
cool.
yeah. That way, I don't get an alert on my phone, unless I specifically click the "I'm not driving" button and bypass that because, like, I don't know, I'm being a bad driver. My phone will automatically do that for me because it's a setting that
That's
comes
awesome.
auto set up unless you turn it off. I wish again you can group certain people inside one thing, and you can turn on vacation mode. And again, I don't get the alerts on my
Yeah.
phone unless I look for it specifically, and it does the exact same thing for you. So,
See, that's where having those sci-fi AI personal assistants would be awesome. It's like reroute all my work calls.
I mean, honestly, that might exist as an app, and if it hasn't, and one of you guys out there is an or gals out there is an app developer or otherwise
Do it.
is an app developer, develop that app. I mean, seriously,
That would be awesome. Yeah.
I'd pay $10 for that app, right?
Yeah,
or I'd
in
pay a
fact,
$1 a
hit
month
me
for
up.
it.
Hit me
Yeah.
up. I'll voice it, and then he'll pay way more than that for it.
Yeah, we don't need a voice on the app. It's literally just like grouping phone numbers to auto respond. But make that app, and
No,
it'll
you need
it'll
a
pull
voice.
bank.
You need a voice. Let's be honest.
No, not WhatsApp. That's owned by Mark Zuckerberg. Not WhatsApp.
That's not.
I would only accept a Scottish accent.
Oh God.
Okay. So you guys sleep for the night. You're not disrupted from
you
your sleep.
listen to Sorry. Reading chat, please carry on.
Waiting for Jake to come back, but you guys are not disrupted in the middle of the night. There's no issues whatsoever. I imagine in the morning you guys get up. Triss, I imagine because now you actually have like some acquaintances here. When you get up and you're getting ready in the morning, you'd be able to have like a little bit of mild conversation with those that are around you. Like, hey, how things going? How's guarding? You want to go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check, sir?
Sure. It's finally good. It's above 10.
Do you want to luck it just to see if you can get even better?
There's no luck.
Just give me an opportunity to laugh. Just brighten up my morning. I made you waste your only luck.
I think that was a waste.
Oh, the DC was only 15.
I
So,
got a DC 20. These boys will literally die for me now, Scott. Unleash the lemmings.
Yes, Tesh, but more like driving mode where it auto responds for them saying, "My
Tesh?
apologies, sorry, Ash. I'm on auto responds. I'm on vacation right now. I'll get back to you as soon as I return." That sort of a thing as well. But yeah, all right, back to you guys. So Neil, when you go around, you just having like mild conversation with them. Kind of part of your conversation is just because you're like so charming and endearing, and people just like talking to you and they open up to you because your nubile face just makes them feel warm and fuzzy in different places. They tell you about like, yeah, well, listen, all I know is I'm glad I'm stationed here. Because what's happening down by the docks is absolutely insane. I don't even know how people are keeping their minds together.
What's going on down there?
You didn't hear? Wait, seriously, you don't know about the ship that pulled in?
I heard there was a boat of something unreal.
Oh yeah. There's a group of people that arrived on a boat, but they're he leans in. They ain't breathing.
A boat of dead people.
Seems like.
So we burned the bodies?
He shakes his head. No, mate. They're moving.
Oh.
Undead. Zombies.
He kind of looks a little I heard the term undead before. People talk about that when they talk about the barren lands, but this ain't no specter. Also, if I know zombies, that's what happened out in the Adir before, right? zombies, they just kind of mindless beasts. No, these things, they work. They talk.
Huh.
Triss will frown. And then I presume like this chap or one of the other guys I know would be happy to help me put my armor on.
Oh, yeah, sure. Drop trow. No, you can find somebody else that'd be happy to help you on. So he'll talk to you while you're having some...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once that's done, I think Triss would go and knock on the FC's door.
Yep.
Just a quick question, Scott.
Yeah.
I realize I never really asked this because you're a lot more familiar with Pathfinder resistances and stuff like that than I am. I remember a lot of things having resistance to cold. Out of cold, electricity, fire, and sonic, which is like the most likely to not have resistances?
Sonic, by far.
Sonic?
Sonic's
Okay, cool.
Sonic's like force, basically.
Sonic
Yeah, then-
leaps and bounds, less things are resistant to. Sonic also can do
Cool.
damage to objects as well.
Then I'll switch overnight. I'll switch my energy type to Sonic.
Yep. Now, mind you, there will be exceptions to that, of course. But Sonic
And also,
is
it's
the
likely
best.
it makes sound as well, I imagine.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool though. I'll switch to Sonic then.
So anyways, you go up there, you knock on her door. She doesn't answer. There's no guard out for it or anything. I imagine like a few moments later, you're patient. So maybe like if it was like a friend's house, you would have knocked already, but instead you like wait obnoxiously long, and then you do that uncomfortable second knock, and you wait longer than you probably otherwise would. Would you knock a third time, or would you?
I think he'd like step away from the door and pace.
Yep. So you step away and you go to pace, and as you like pace like away from the door, like down the hallway a bit, you see her coming around the corner and holding a mug. You can already start to smell the coffee a few seconds later. Good morning.
FC, I heard there were undead, but ones that aren't trying to kill us.
That's still yet to be seen. When they were initially discovered, for what they were attacked, and they very adequately, they very capably attacked back. We lost 36 soldiers in the first 15 minutes. We have since come to a degree of truce. For the record, they lost none. Any injuries that were incurred were ignored.
Listen, I was in a deer. These things don't think.
Are you trying to offer your expertise despite the fact that you already have an incredibly full plate?
How many of your soldiers were in a deer, ma'am?
She shakes her head and says, "We've all lost people. The important thing to note is this. For us to be successful, we all need to have our tasks, and we need to see these tasks through to the ends. While this is a new problem, and it's going to be handled, and I'm sure I will need your assistance in this. For now, your job is to put a button on the problem that we call the Black Knights. Finish it. That's the task that you wanted. That's the task that you were handed. Finish it, and then we won't have to worry about it anymore."
Field Commander.
You turn and walk away. As you walk away, like maybe you walk past her by like 4 steps. She says, "Question.
He would turn.
There were suggestions by your Lieutenant Centurion and that's Pan that the mage in the Black Knights that you're dealing with might be a necromancer, correct?"
That's what Viggo said. If I understand correctly, one of the leadership masks we killed in the cave was in fact some sort of long-lived undead. But as far as we're aware, he didn't speak. That said, we only fought him.
Do me a favor. While you complete your given task, look for connections. Perhaps one is linked to the other. That would make sense, and then we can handle the scenario as needed. But if they're not, then we have something else entirely that we're concerned about here.
Understood.
Did you hear me again?
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay. I got really worried that I broke my mic. Sorry, continue.
No. Oh, we just revoked your speech rights. That's all it was. Yeah. Yeah. There was a vote. It was near unanimous. There was one dissenter. I won't call out V-Sword for voting in your favor, but then after we checked the legal jargon, we realized that if it wasn't truly unanimous, you have to have them back. So, you know. Anyways, so then you say your line about all that. She says about like kind of like making the connections or whatever. And then what was your last line there? Your farewell?
He just said understood and nodded again and carried on.
Okay. And then you leave. You can go and bump into Gallon and what the hell's his name afterwards to Viggo and inform them of what you've discovered.
Some of the lads were saying undead sailors on the boat.
Undead? You like the ones you talked about in Adir?
Apparently not. Apparently they defended themselves when attacked, killed 36 soldiers, didn't lose a single one themselves. And then there's some sort of standstill going on.
Shit.
Maybe this is something the military should reach out to the clerics of Lady Eraville to help with.
Yes. Let's just hope that this isn't the work of the necromancer.
I mean, one body's one thing, but however many are on a boat.
He reanimated someone seemingly permanently. No, wait. There was talk, this is to Viggo, in his notes, there was talk about him wanting to expand the family, as he said, right?
I don't remember out of game, but in game, I'm going to assume that's correct.
Out of game, it said like the guy who was reanimated kept asking him, "Hey, you said we were going to expand my family." So if that's the case, then maybe this isn't to do with him, unless he's acted rashly while on the run, which I don't think so.
Well, if we manage to get him into custody, it's definitely a line of questioning we can follow up. If not, maybe if we kill him, maybe if it is him, it will sever the magic ties and they'll just crumple. I don't know.
Either way,
But we do have... It is a worry for another time.
Yeah. We have a mage to catch.
That we do.
Okay, so you guys are gonna head to the Arcane Congress. While there, you can see again the fog here is still very thick. It is a thick fog. Can you roll me perception checks, please?
I was literally about to say, can I, so with perception checks, now that Virgil has a pretty okay-ish perception, can he help me on perception checks if he's like around on me?
Yes, if it's visual ones, but not if for this one.
Yeah. Oh, not for this one? Okay. I was going to say in visual ones, yes.
And it has to be an active aid, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What I was going to say is I'd probably have him on the top of my pack, looking like a decoration or something. But that way he can watch what I can't see behind me and stuff like that.
Sure.
But in this case,
looking at expensive decoration, someone's going to pilfer it.
They can try.
Waiting for that third one. What do you do
Oh,
with
wow,
an undead sailor? What do you do with an undead sailor?
That's the exact same thing I rolled on the last perception check.
Yay! So early
It's
in the
a
morning.
5.
Way, hey, and up he rises.
Hey, look,
It's early.
he took too many sips last night.
All right. Yeah, well, you're a little off. That's why Tristan was up way before you. But that's okay. So, Viggo, it's more you that picks it up, but you also have a nose for these things. You're a very sensitive nose, wolf boy, compared to the other two. You notice that there's a strange smell in the air in the thick fog. It almost smells like oranges turned bad. Like, you know that specific smell of like an orange that's way too overripened. It's actually starting to rot. You know what I mean? So it's like almost like that somewhat composty kind of smell, but it almost has like a citrusy kind of tone to it. So while it is a rotting smell, which isn't the nicest smell in the world, at the same time, it also has like this like citrusy kind of sweetness to it that makes it so it's not overtly offensive either. Like a rotting orange, you still don't just throw away. You might say throw it inside of your garbage disposal in your sink to still freshen up the smell of your sink or what have you. If you guys even have disposals, I think you just compost over there. But either way, you know what I'm talking about. So it gives us like a unique kind of smell out there, but it's faint enough that only Viggo is able to pick it up. Not even Gallon. Gallon maybe has like a bit of like a sinus thing this morning, and so that's why he wasn't quite able to pick it up. He hasn't done the snot rockets, and he just got outside to really clean out those sinuses. So I'm kidding. He's more classy
Realize
than
what
that.
you said.
Yeah,
Much better.
it's like crystals like fly out and like shatter on the ground. Oh, it's so funny. You can imagine standing nearby. You have freaking Tristan like patting off his pants and just like crystal shards falling off. You're like, mate, seriously? Anyways, so you can kind of smell that out there. I don't know if you say anything, Viggo, but you're making your way to the Arcane Congress. So,
Can I correlate that smell to any type of chemical reaction?
unfortunately, no, not that you're familiar with yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't say anything, you guys make your way to the Arcane Congress. You get there around when they open up. They let you in, and you can see that the person that you saw there last night is very tired, and they're still sitting there.
Hello. How was the paperwork coming along?
It was completed about 4 hours ago. I'm glad you enjoyed your morning and took your time getting here to collect it. Here you are. Everything's taken care of for you. If you could just sign saying that you've received it.
I read the paper, and then I'll sign it.
Oh boy. It's roll a linguistics check.
God damn. It really is the. Oh.
It's more or
I've
less the
seen
same
it,
result as before. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Oh,
was-
I wasn't looking.
That
Yeah.
dice. So it rolled onto 1 3 times, I think. It rolled onto 1, rolled back onto 7, 1 7.
Ow! Oh my god, that was a loud electronic signal. Holy crap! Ow!
Is that for me?
I think it was. It felt too. I think it was my side only. It felt too
Okay.
local. Oh.
I mean, we hurt nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't know if chat
gonna
heard
be my
anything. I
mic.
think it was something physical on my side, not even electronic. So chat shouldn't have heard anything. Holy crap! Sorry, it was.
Ooh.
Like if you
Yeah,
unplug
no, I
and
know how
plug in
much
your
that can
headphones.
hurt.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. I'm good. Sorry.
Oof.
Okay. Moving on. That's payback for all the times I got really loud to headphone.
Good. Chat didn't hear it apparently.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I torture chat all the time, so I deserve it. So, anyways, sorry, Tesh, could you repeat that? Even though I heard the words, I honestly don't remember what you said. That was distracting.
He just got
Fuck,
flashbanged.
I can't remember what I was talking about.
There's the paperwork. They were sleepy.
Oh, right. I was saying, fuck, it really is like the DMV.
Oh yeah. So you look over everything. Everything seems to be in order, and you sign acknowledging it. And they smile. They stand up, put their bag on the table, stand up, go over, get their jacket, throw their jacket on, and then they leave.
Oh, poor guy.
And they say, well, it's a great way to start my day off today. And they walk out the door. They're fucking exhausted from being here overnight. And like I said, they're young. This is a new member of the Arcane Congress. So, or at least the paperwork side. Maybe rethinking their career choice.
It won't be the first sleepless night they get.
Wait till you get to your college years. So you so they leave, and you're left behind. Another one of the Arcane Congress members will come out and say, Viggo. Is there a Viggo out here?
Yes.
Oh, my apologies. I believe, and they look at a paper. Lieutenant Centurion Viggo, I can't pronounce that.
Yes.
Metahina. Oh, it's such a strange word. Come.
I will approach.
Yep. You go and
I
you
will
go
follow. Does he let us
walking
follow?
through to like a separate office or whatever. You sit down. They say, all right, it looks here you're looking to get your hands on a member of the Arcane Congress to help you with military matters with a degree of discretion. Absolutely. Please inform me what it is that we're looking into.
There is, which I believe you could help me with here, a mage that seems to focus on necromancy. I'm not sure if he's licensed. That would be probably the start. We're able to... I can't even remember what I was supposed to ask him.
They were a leader of the Black Knights. We know for a fact they're a leader of the Black Knights. We have proof.
Yeah, so I just say, yeah, he's a leader of the Black Knights, Terracell in the area. And I'm wondering if he is operating without a license, or if he is not, at least you may know where he's operating from.
Paradol's laws when it comes to necromancy are pretty specific. Those that wish to research necromancy all the way back home in Eustace are welcome to research whatever it is that they like. But studying of necromancy in Paradol is very uncommon, though there are schools that will give a degree of understanding. But the practicing of necromantic arts here in Paradol, again, requires certain licensing for certain tasks. Research is, of course, always welcome. A deeper understanding allows one to be able to combat it in the future, or just a greater understanding of how it is that magic flows in all of Aeroth and Aurorum, right? But the practicing of necromantic arts has very heavy limitations. There's unfortunately a negative connotation that people have when it comes to necromancy. They only associate necromancy with the manipulation and creation and what have you of undead, rather than the what it truly is meant to be for, which is to manipulate the negative energies that flow naturally throughout all of the multiverse. But that's being said, if there is a licensed necromancer, they would likely have a researching license, and so there shouldn't be any concerns. You said that this
particular
We would have
mage is a practicing necromancer, I guess.
Gets out the papers with the diary.
He also is possesses the ability to be able to affect the subject from a large radius due to an item.
Oh, so an item that links the two of them.
Yes.
Something like that is not illegal, unusual, no matter what restraints that you're referring to. So whether it be specifically for an undead or otherwise, that's perfectly legal. And being undead is perfectly legal as far as I understand. There's no law saying that you can't exist.
There would be in the diary. It was talking about creating more. Would that be?
That would be illegal unless it was done with explicit permission for certain types of experiments in a controlled location.
Well, either way, we have proof that this individual is a member of the Black Knights, a terrorist cell.
And whether or
could be
not he's going
concerning.
to make more, he's made one. when we believe he is intending to make more.
Well, I'd like to just come right out and
you-
say, as I'm speaking to, Lieutenant Centurion, that the Arcane Congress does not support the political beliefs or ideologies of its individual members. The Arcane Congress is about the understanding of magic and the expansion of the knowledge of magic to have a deeper and wider understanding of it. It has no political aspirations, has no political influence or whatsoever. So this individual might independently have a licensing for necromancy and independently be a member of these Black Knights that you're referring to. But the two of those things do not coincide with one another.
Of course, yes. Well, I think the first thing is seeing if he is licensed would be a start, and then if he's not, then we can move from there. And if he is, we are still requesting support from the Arcane Congress, as article blah 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 that I filled out.
So you're looking to try to find because these licenses aren't something that we just go handing out willy nilly. That would be a degree of what's the word I'm looking for here? It would be concerning if we just handed out that kind of personal information to just anybody that happened to come by and ask for it. Military title or not. This is something that we don't typically do for anybody lower rank than a high commander. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances that may allow someone for as low as a field commander or even the most extreme scenarios of battle commanders to get their hands on it. Unfortunately, sir, you are not anywhere near those ranks, and so I would not be able to assist you in this scenario.
I'm not, but I'm operating under the field commander, who herself has approved me to seek this aid.
Well, with you making the accusation that this individual that is a potentially a licensed member of the Arcane Congress being a potential and proven, I see your documents here, but I'm not going to read through that. That's not my responsibility. It's the field commander's judgment, and it's my supervisors to make the judgment call on it, the council to make the judgment call on it. That being said, I will absolutely bring forward. I will absolutely provide for you the paperwork for the request from your field commander. You could bring it to her if she chooses to fill it out. Then come back and the council will make a decision. And if they decide to release this information to you, then
If
we will do so.
I'm not wrong, there is a step we can do that may save us all some time.
Please.
If this individual is in fact not licensed, then you will know simply by checking if there is anyone that should be licensed in this region to do that. And if there isn't, we can start progressing on the not unlicensed front.
Give me a diplomacy check there, sir. And Jake, of course, can aid you. He's been a part of this whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I more or less was saying the whole time.
Yep.
So.
Please aid, because I will need it, unless I
Yep.
get lucky with the roll. I like how that's a low roll for you.
Me too.
Meanwhile, I have a +0. Let's go. That's not bad.
So it's a 16 total.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You're saying...
that could have been a lot worse.
So did you want to try to modify your 16 to see if you can get it any higher?
What do you think?
I mean, it'll save time. So to be honest, just
Let's try it. Ooh, sweet. Not quite a 20, but I'll take a 19.
Not give personal
Considering
information. Not give personal information, but instead see if there could potentially be any to see if there is even any licenses like this around.
Exactly.
Very well. If you'll please excuse me.
I assume we just sort of let him
we'll just
leave.
nod.
They push themselves back, stand up, and walk out the place for, oh boy, 2 hours pass.
Holy fuck. Oh, maybe we've made a mistake. I
So,
wouldn't say that.
I imagine at one point in time, one of you guys have to pee, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going. But then, like, as you go to leave, like, again, 2 hours pass, the door opens up, and they come in and be like, oh, excuse me, I'm back. And they kind of, like, look over at your chair, to whoever has to pee. Chime in, whoever wants to be that one.
You know what? I'll make a gallon. It's like sits back down.
They go over and they sit down, and they say, I did cross-reference to see if there are any licenses such as this, and I will admit there is an unusual number. I honestly wasn't aware of this because I don't look into these things typically. 13.
And in this particular area.
13 in Malisal Harbor and the immediate surrounding areas that are under Malisal Harbor jurisdiction.
Shit.
Usually numbers like that are pretty uncommon. You wouldn't find that outside of a school that specifically trains for necromancy. And there is no such school that exists in Malisal Harbor.
So it's 13 gnomes practicing necromancy.
Shook his head. 13 licenses for researching necromancy.
So there's 13 gnomes with licenses for necromancy.
They raise their eyebrow and say, I don't understand why you're trying to apply one's lineage to the licenses. Those kind of details I'm not providing for you.
I see.
Scribe.
So among those 13, a number of them will be gnomes. And that's actually what we're looking for.
And unfortunately, that kind of information is where the discretion comes in. We can't just go providing any more finite details without the appropriate permissions. This is for the protections of the Arcane Congress members. These are individual
I would
people.
understand not disclosing names, places, where they live.
I'm going to stop you right there and say, what if there were 3 licenses specifically for gnomes, and what if there were only 3 gnomes that lived inside of the city? Then I've just given you more information than you need to be able to act upon the information you're asking for. We draw very thick lines for a reason, to make sure that there are no misunderstandings.
We already know it's a gnome.
Yes, but we don't know if any
We
of those licenses...
already know
for
it
them.
practices necromancy. The only matter we don't know is whether or not they're licensed.
They look a little frustrated, and they look over to the
I
officer.
just realized we had a bunch of letters. Did the gnome have a name?
They never put their name on it. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't have a name.
I'll get that paperwork filled out then. And in the meantime, if we happen to come up with a location where said person may be, that might help you narrow it down.
Shakes their head and says, if you could please just go ahead and get permission from your field commander. I'm telling you that the extenuating circumstances you have here fall within the purview that we can go that avenue. And then I will have it looked after by our council, and we can get you an answer as quickly as they could do so. Now, I do see here that you did ask for expedition, including overnight paperwork being done. Those papers will, of course, be able to be applied to the continuation of this, as it's all under the same purview. I'll just provide for you an additional documents to fill out to apply that extension, because I can see that time does seem to be of the essence. I'm no fool. I live here as well. I understand what has happened, which has transpired in the past 48 hours here in Malisal Harbor. And I also want to see the safe well-being of myself, my family, my friends. So if there's any way that I can legally assist you, I will do so. And then they look over at Tristan as they say, but I will not step outside the boundaries of what my responsibilities are.
No, we wouldn't want to put your friends, yourself, or your family at risk.
It's a slippery slope to say that doing the right thing allows one to circumvent the laws and order that were put into place. What you believe is right and what I believe is right could be very different things.
Yes, I don't need your lectures.
Apparently you do.
Yes, I'm sure you think that, but what you believe is right is not the same as what I believe is right.
But we can
Tristan,
both
we
agree
should,
it's the law.
Go back to the field commander, get these papers signed.
Don't even need them signing. The field commander said, Trish would be saying this as we walked out, and I quote, with my full support.
As we're leaving, he says, this is typical for the Arcane Congress. Dealing with them is always just paperwork. They're a slow-moving organization.
It's funny because Gallon has
Well,
a
that's-
small degree of appreciation for like standards and whatnot, but then it gets about. I imagine Gallon is here like, fuck.
Yeah, no, Gallon's like this is his views, but to an extreme.
Yep.
Like he very much does have that appreciation of like the order of things and doing it properly, but there's also like people are fucking dying.
So you go to the field commander when you speak with her, which unfortunately you have to travel all the way there, which takes like about a half an hour. Then you have to wait for a meeting to finish that she's already in, which takes about 15 minutes. Then you explain everything to her, which she of course just listens to. She's pretty quick about it. It takes only about 5 minutes or so. And she's just like, yeah, next point, yeah, next point. And she's like, so it's this, and you're like, yeah. She's like, give me the papers. Did you look these over? Is everything in order? While you were waiting, you could have made a linguistics check.
100%.
Yeah. Go ahead, make a linguistics
Want me
check
to
while
do
you're
that?
waiting. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't offer that.
Does Virgil have linguistics?
Ah.
He does not.
Is that 15 minutes is enough time to look over the paperwork and again have a strong understanding compared to like what you had before? And so she says, does everything seem in order?
As far as I can tell, Arcane Congress contracts are very convoluted, but it seems to be. above
She
board.
waves away the rest of your response and pencil whip signs all the areas that say that she has to sign, and then hands you the papers and say, fill out the rest of the details for me, please.
Yep, I would get up and leave.
Yep.
Salute.
And then
Salute and leave.
you finish up the rest of the details as you shut the door. She says, the Arcane Congress can absolutely go click.
Yeah.
Viggo
Oh
would
my
finish
God.
it. Fuck themselves. And
Just try like have to resist the full body laugh. Just like, nope, must resist.
And so you finish up the paperwork. So again, we're talking like all in all, like another over 2 hours later, you finally get your way back there to provide the papers for them. The person will take you in immediately. Like we're talking within 2 minutes of getting there, they take you back into the office and they sit down, and you guys, I imagine, sit in the same seats that you were in last time. Because right, why wouldn't you? In front of Tristan's seat, there happens to be a book sitting there with a little bit of a ribbon tied around it. The book is called Spirit of the Law. And then it has like an author's name and whatnot. And it's it's a book. It's actually it looks like a probably a second printing of like a second edition of the book called Spirit of the Law. And it's in really good condition. It's got a bow on it. Either way, sitting in front of him. But they take over the paperwork. They spend about 2 minutes leafing through it. They say, seems as though everything's in order, and as per your request for expedition, I will deliver this immediately. And they get up and they walk out the door, and they'll be gone for like 10 minutes or so if you guys want to say anything to each other.
You got a gift there, Tristan.
Viggo, roll for me a what would an education check be? Like a knowledge local check. Let's do that one. You have knowledge local?
knowledge local, knowledge history, depends what it falls
Do
under.
knowledge history. I feel like a book should be like a knowledge local, because it's like an author thing, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
more of like a pop culture, if you will.
It would depend like what type of book.
And what
and
knowledge
type of-
education, right?
Yeah, knowledge education.
So with an 18, you actually be able to identify this book. You know that Spirit of the Law literally is a book about when people work within what the spirit of a law is meant to be, as opposed to the letter of the law and what it's meant to be, and how all the negative impacts on society that it's had along the way, and all the worst examples of it. Because when you follow the spirit of the law and not the letter of the law, it allows certain very important things to be circumvented that have caused many different like travesties and violations of people's individual rights and whatnot to be done. So it's literally a book educating oneself about how spirit of the law is not how it should be followed, but the letter of the law is. So, and of course, in real life, we can have different opinions depending on the law or what have you, but this is very much a
Galen probably would be okay with that book. Tash loathes that
yeah,
book.
right, yeah. Oh.
Viggo just says to Tristan, it's an informative read, but a boring one.
Well, it seems he felt strongly enough to get me a present. I'll take it, and if I get the time, I'll read it.
There you go.
Viggo looks impressed.
You didn't know you could read.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. If he gets the time, this is not an easy read. This is like every day that Triss reads this, he comes to Viggo with like a list of like words, and he's like, "What does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? What does that mean?"
Viggo just starts writing a thesaurus for you.
Well, the funny part is, I imagine he drags his finger across the front cover and says, "T, te, sp, t, spirit of."
I'll loan you Virgil. Virgil help.
Oh, Virgil, because Virgil can just like monotone read the book to you, like if you did the talk to text.
Oh my god, a Virgil audiobook,
right? Like, but like Siri style, like.
Yeah, it's Galen's voice but monotone.
The spirit of the law.
I like it.
Anyways, it was a famous author out of Eustace that wrote the book. So
yeah, I mean, he'll put the book in his backpack.
Cool. By the way, it was famous author out of Eustace. It is very, very heavy Lady Aravel tones to it, if and when you ever get to it, because obviously we're talking about law and obedience. It's very Aravel, right?
I lean much more towards the Kraleen side.
Yeah. Which is fine. That's makes sense. Passion.
That's the spirit in the letter.
Yep. Right. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, so continuing on. Sorry, just titling it "The Spirit of the Law" just makes me happy. It makes me think of what's that obnoxious dude, the alt-right guy,
Scott. Sorry.
He likes to go and talk to uneducated people that are like freshman year of college.
I think I know the exact guy you're talking about.
What the hell's his name? He like talks like this, and he's really fucking annoying, and he's always so monotonic, and he is really. I hate listening to him. His last name because
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I cannot.
Is it Peterson?
No. You're like Jordan Peterson. Not him.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
He's a different type of obnoxious. This person's wrong about everything, which is Jordan Peterson's only wrong about most things.
Yeah.
So God, I can't remember his name. Not the change my mind guy. No.
Peterson.
That's Steven Crowder.
Okay,
Steven Crowder.
I'm bored of this topic now, Scott.
Anyways, my point is there's like literally a tweet of him being like saying that the phrase being on the right side of history is like an absolutely horrible phrase, and then like a few years later he published a book called The Right Side of History. I
like it.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Oh, God, what the fuck is it? Well, Google Right Side of History, you'll find his name. I can't stand him though. I hate him. And Doxy like likes listening to his voice, and I'm like, Doxy, no, he's a bad boy. She's like, no, I hate him.
Oh, fucking Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, that's it.
Fuck Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. God.
God. Yeah, no, I loathe him.
Like, ugh.
Fucking imbecile.
Like, I can't even listen. Like, if a YouTube ad comes on, even if it's a 5-second skippable, I end the video. If his voice is on there, I can't even listen to the 5 seconds to skip it. I just end the video. His voice is so grating. I'm like, you needed to get your ass kicked as a kid. Like, you needed to learn like what it means to be like a human.
I have a feeling that he did.
No, I have a feeling that he very much didn't. Like
so?
I absolutely got slapped around by like my brother and cousins and even a sister of mine, right? Like absolutely have been slapped around before. I feel like that is somebody who has never been slapped around in his life. That he's just been cradled his entire life. Just like, yes, you're the best. Mommy loves you. Like absolutely no humility, forced into him through, blood.
Violence.
Like literally, one time my brother kicked my ass so bad I pissed blood. You know what I mean? Like there's one of those things where like you just learn lessons in life different ways, and he just didn't learn certain lessons. So, anyways, violence is always bad. Just changes your perspective. So, where were we? So they leave. A few minutes pass. Do you guys say anything else, or just they come back?
They come back.
Okay, cool. Man, I swear, we have to like change our campaign to like do 5 hours instead of 4. That way we just have an hour of bullshit and then actually play the game for the rest of the time instead of trying to force
I know,
through.
right?
Oh,
Well, you know what we could do? We could get rid of Regicide, and then you'd have more time for bullshitting, right?
We should have a podcast.
I mean, it's like
hold on,
same level
Neil.
of content, right?
Neil. I understand what you're trying to say here, but are you going to go live with me at Regicide's time slot at 4 a.m. your time on Saturday morning?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go, boys.
I can only do
We
it this
did it
weekend,
once. We did it
unfortunately.
once.
It's during my work.
And I actually
time.
melt. I melt if I stay up too late.
Oh.
My body just says no.
Yeah.
Well, you go to bed and you wake up early.
Yeah, but I woke up. I that was funny. I slept in, like my alarm went off, but it didn't go off, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. Like,
I had to adjust how the alarms work on my phone because I was pissing off, poor innocent people like Norway. You know what I mean? Who was just trying to schedule their own ridiculous time schedule for me, and then I was fucking it up, and it was so disrespectful. So I was like, I have to change how I do things. So. But anyways, different dynamic there. But moving on. So 10 minutes later, they come back in and they say, the council has accepted your documentation. They put it put into top priority for review, which means that if there is an extended session today, it will be gone over this evening. If there is not an extended session today, then it'll be gone over in the early half of tomorrow. Tomorrow's review, which means you'll either hear a response from us in the morning or tomorrow evening. Unless there is some reason for there to be a shortened day tomorrow, you should hear by tomorrow evening. In the worst case scenario where there is a shortened day tomorrow, you'll hear the next morning.
Okay,
Well,
thank
we
you.
didn't know this was going to be the slower method.
Yeah. It's to be expected. What can you do?
Yep.
Is there anything else that I can provide you aid with?
No.
Didn't you have the diary you gave to no, not the diary, the traveling spellbook you gave to the gnome who was gonna try and look it over for you?
I did, yeah. I don't know. I could ask if
He also was
what
trying to
his name?
procure for you a license for you to be able to utilize their library.
That's right, yeah. In exchange
Is,
for the vial of blood that you gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his name's Resin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask if he's in.
So you say is the mage Resin in, and they think for a moment and they say, I'm not entirely sure. I did not see him this morning, but that doesn't mean he's not here. Are you acquainted?
I am, yes.
They say, well, I can have that looked into for you. This office needs to be used for more official matters, however, so if you don't mind waiting in the front room.
Of course.
I'm sure you know your way, and I'll get you a response in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Of course, to Arcane Congress, or specifically gnomes, a few minutes is about close to a half hour later. They come back and they say to you, Resin is not here. Resin is not here as of right now, but from what I understand, he's due to pass in some research paperwork for things that they've been working on for some time, I believe by the morning. So if you would like to hang around, there's a good chance that you would see him delivering his paperwork early today, or you can just catch him in the morning tomorrow when he's delivering it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
They nod. Would you care to wait here? And if you do so, please understand you need not wait in the front room. Those chairs are only designed for middling comforts. They could be quite uncomfortable after a while. There is a cafe, and the food there is of no charge for those that are here on official business.
I'll speak with my my friends here, and I'll make a decision. Thank you.
They nod. If you do choose to go to the cafe, and they give you like some basic directions, and they say, "Have you ever traveled as far west as Eustis?"
I've never been to Eustace, no.
Then there's a delicacy in Eustis, and they say like this strange gnomish name, but I imagine because you're multilingual, you'd be able to pronounce it afterwards if you want to, because I think you speak like 6 languages. He says, I don't know if you're squeamish. I don't know if you care to hear what the ingredients are, but I can tell you it is an absolute delicacy, and you will truly appreciate the flavor of that. It is exquisite. Otherwise, enjoy your day. And they'll
Suspect.
walk away.
The way he said that makes me worried about what's in it.
Yes. Well, I'll turn to you two and say, well, it seems like we're going to get nothing till at least tomorrow.
Indeed.
I have half a mind to wait here. I actually want to try out this cafe. See if I can get a word in with Resin. But you two are welcome to either stay, or if you'd prefer to return to the barracks or go about other business, you're free to.
If there's nothing else to be done, I might work on cleaning up and repairing what I can at the apartment.
Be careful.
I will. I can get out of there quickly if needed. And I'll just sort of like look around. Just there's no one sort of like watching us. I'm still
This is
gonna
a
be-
front desk person. Remember they just left this morning, so it's a different person.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be anything. So he's just gonna say, I'm just gonna say, I've come into ways of making sure that should someone try that again, I can get away.
Well, my reason alone isn't just for bumping into Resin. Now, I'm no coward, but my actions say otherwise. But let's ignore that. No. This fog troubles me. It's not natural, and as much as I hate to admit it, being here is possibly the best place
That is a
to
good point.
really have a good think about things.
Given the fog, you're correct. Maybe we should stick together.
Although the field commander and such, he looked to Tristan, they are foggies around them as well. I don't want to tell you guys what to do with your time, but just be careful either way.
Yeah, I guess so.
How far away from where the new barracks are is this building from? Like in the area or pretty far away?
It's a good distance away. You talking about the one that burned down, or the inn? I'm sorry.
The place that is the current sort of acting barracks.
From
how far
where
away
you
is
are.
that
Oh,
from here?
gotcha. So this place is actually pretty close to the building that burned down, the big one that burned down, right? So this is within like a 5-minute walk of that, and that, if I remember correctly, was within like a 10-minute walk of this place. So probably like 12, 13 minutes away. Nothing crazy.
Okay, but it's not close enough that we'd hear something was happening. Unfortunately.
No. Unfortunately not. You are correct, sir.
Yeah. I think given what's happened, part of me wants to stick together. Part of me wants to make sure that nothing happens to the field commander.
Melanimatia. That's what it's called.
The food, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Can't be
Melanimatia.
everywhere. I'll stay with the elves then. Make sure that he doesn't get himself into too much trouble. Besides, I have a book to read.
And food to try.
See, sadly, it's like one of those things where I'd love to leave you Virgil, so that if worse comes to worse, we could stay in contact. But I need Virgil for a lot of my abilities now.
No, you could go do your thing. I just wanted to give you guys the option. I'm more or less saying that I'm just going to stay here, but wherever you want to go, you can go.
So, I'm saying I might want to stay at the barracks in case anything happens. I can try and intervene.
She does have a good number of guards.
Yeah, it's that I would definitely be in favor of leaving. Like, there's plenty of guards; they'll be fine. If we had any way of knowing if a fight started, because then we could go and be like, "Hey, we're here to help." But unfortunately, no. You know what? I'm gonna stay with you guys. I think staying together is more important right now. She's protected. Hopefully we'll hear if anything starts happening and we can make our way there.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And we can't be everywhere at once. I think exactly that's what that's my mindset, Green. I'm thinking stick together.
All right, so we're all
We'll
gonna go to the cafe, eat, and Tristan's gonna read.
Do you guys try that? Do you guys try that dish?
I do, yeah. Obviously, I'll ask them what it is and what is in it, because I'm curious.
Do you ask before you look at it? Do you look at it first? Do you ask first? Do you try it first? What do you do?
When we're ordering, I would ask, more or less, what is it? What's in it?
Yeah, so when you order it, they look at you like, oh, you like that dish?
Oh, it was recommended to me. Before I order it, though, I'm wondering what is in it.
Oh, it's a type of seafood. It's made out of eyes from cephalopods. So usually like cuttlefish, octopus, squid. Certain chefs will use specific combinations. And certain chefs will only use kind of only one type. It's flavored and colored with the ink of a squid, specifically, actually one particular type of squid that has this really kind of sharp flavor to it. It goes extremely well when you put a type of like a soft cheese with it. It is absolutely exquisite. Now, other people will add different types of details based off of the chef's approach. Here, we also put a light sauce on the plate because just a small dab to add just an additional depth of flavor, but nothing over the top. Either way, so it's cephala eyes is what it's primarily made with the ink of a particular type of squid.
I was expecting a lot worse. This is me, Tesh, speaking. I was expecting a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So let's say even if your character almost looks relieved when you hear that, right? They would say the thing that throws everybody off is the texture.
What's the squid?
It's one of those. They open their mouth like I think there's definitely like a pause, and they look to the other two for help.
Look, it's just for simplicity's sake. Type of fish. Close enough.
Type of fish, right? What's it like? An ink fish.
It
has tentacles. A good number of them, depending on. For instance, one cephalopod is called an octopus. Oct being eight tentacles or arms technically. There's an argument about which is which, but there's it's delicious. They look at you and they say, however, we have an incredible brisket that you very well may like, sir.
How many eyes does one of these octopi have?
Well, that also depends on which coast you're fishing off of. Generally speaking, for most coasts, you'll find only 2. Some coasts, as much as 6.
Sounds expensive.
Oh, well, it's not a cheap dish. It's a delicacy.
The texture?
They lean into you, Neil, and they say, "We have it shipped here frozen. It's produced over back home, and they use magic to freeze it to deliver it here because we are a harbor here, but we don't keep that caliber of chef on hand at the cafe." You know. And they lean back, and what did you say, Jake?
I said, and the texture?
Sticky.
Interesting. I'll take one.
Yeah, Gallon, I'll give it a try.
Sure. It is obviously not properly. It's like the difference between if you like go to your like a Walmart and buy tiramisu, and like you have your friend's grandma make you tiramisu, right? Like it's not the same thing, right? Jake's like, I much prefer Walmart tiramisu. Thank you very much. But that's okay. So you
I'll stick with the brisket, thank you.
Yeah, so you get it, and don't get me wrong, it's interesting. Whether or not you like it is up to you. The texture is almost as if like, have you ever had peanut butter, like the good peanut butter that's not like pre-mixed? You have to like stir it up. It's like the top of a peanut butter jar where it's like a thin, oily liquid with like the peanut butter that underneath is still very kind of goopy. And then beneath that, if you don't stir it, it's like a rock. So it's like that top part where it's like the oily covered, thin, goopy type of peanut butter. But despite how oily and goopy it is, it's still sticky in your mouth. Like it's like that. So I specifically buy those peanut butters for 2 reasons. 1, they tend to be better for you, and 2, when I make cookies,
You like sticky things in your mouth?
Heyo. When I make cookies, that using the thin goopier part is easier for the cookie making. So, you know. But anyways, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So either way, you try it. Whether or not you like it is up to you. The texture is certainly unique and strange.
Gnomish bubble tea.
The color is like a dark gray because of the way the ink affects it. I don't know if you've ever had squid ink pasta before. But it's like a dark gray, almost has like a bluish hue to it. Either way. So yeah, very, very interesting.
I think it's something like Gallon probably wouldn't pick it again, but it's an experience and he had it. It's like not good enough to get it again, probably.
Viggo's probably exactly feels how you said before. Like, it's nice, but it would be probably really nice if it was made fresh.
Yeah.
If we go to Eustace, I'll remember to order this again.
Because Eustace is very much a coastal place, and clearly they have an appreciation for seafood, they also have things like sushis and whatnot on the menu as well. So different details like that would be there. And because you are in a harbor, they would be using locally sourced fishes that are here. So maybe some have to be transported, but for the most part, it'd be locally sourced fishes. So you would have their idea of sushi, but with different species being used, right? Either way, so you could definitely...
let's order that too.
Yeah, you get like all sorts of different seafoods, and I imagine Tristan is very much not a seafood fan. And I mean, I don't want to speak for the planet, but anybody that I personally know IRL that got introduced to seafood predominantly as an adult and not really as a child, they fucking hate seafood. Like if you weren't raised as a seafood being a core part of your diet as a kid, usually you as an adult hate seafood. So I've never met somebody that's like, I didn't grow up with it. Like, I love it.
I don't think he'd hate it because like he's used to eating river food. like
Eel.
crayfish, eels,
Yeah.
all that sort of crap, even snails.
Oh, yeah.
But like, would he take to it? He'd probably find it being salt flavored and not mud flavored quite weird.
I mean, definitely different. So, either way, texturally and everything, definitely different. But because a lot of freshwater fishes can be very oily too. So, you know, if you think about things like eel and catfish and whatnot, so they can be very, very oily. But seafood can be too. Yeah. Anyways, you guys you enjoy your meal. You wait a bunch of hours, and literally, like, you wait hours here, and eventually, he would show up. Resident would show up. One of those things where he kind of pop his head into the thing. You guys have been there for hours. You've eaten like probably 3 meals here, had a bunch of drinks, like really enjoying the place. But here's the fun part. Roll a sense motive for everybody. God, all of you roll a sense motive.
Oh no.
Okay.
He walks around the corner, pulls out his wand. Avada Kedavra.
I freaking love seafood, V-Sword. But
I
definitely,
also love seafood as well.
I mean, crustaceans are
I
top
do
tier.
love seafood.
Yeah, crustaceans are top tier. So I fucking love scallops. Oh my god, I love making scallops at home.
Oh, scallops.
Yeah, like pan-seared. Oh. All right, so
I've not had them in a long time. I had king prawns the other day, just as a start, like proper big prawns, all shell on, like tear them to pieces, and
those are not common around here.
With same with a saffron aioli. My god.
Oh, that sounds good.
All
That sounds
right.
really
It
Okay.
was
It
good.
does sound
Now,
good.
now I want to order from the Italian Mexican fusion place down the street, like because they have
good.
it's almost all like they have steak there too, but it's oh my god, they have this fucking seafood dish that has like 5 different types of seafood inside of it, and then I get mussels to start too, like a red sauce mussels. Oh my god.
No, where Scott's taking me
Hey baby.
on our first date.
But again, I grew up. My dad managed a fancy Italian place, so I grew up on like mussels and scallops and stuff. So, it was free because he was the manager. Because we were poor. All right. So, anyways, you guys are able to. He pops in, and so no. He pops in right before he pops in. So the entire time you spend talking to the person that's at the cafe, and it's the same person all day. They're just engaging in conversation with you. If you're asking about foods, they're giving their opinions, they're talking about this and the other thing. You have a varied background of food, and you have a very strong memory for details like that, Viggo. They're genuinely like, it's not one of those things like, these fuckers are still sitting here? Like, they're the freeloaders eating all this free shit. It's like, no. You ordered a couple different meals because you got hungry because how long you sat there, but they're constantly bringing you stuff. Like, hey, can I have you try something else? Oh, can you want to try a personal recipe of mine? Like, because they're just like, you're somebody to, you imagine that they don't get to talk to people all day very often. And so they're like coming over, they'll sit down with you for a few days. So you're actually genuinely having more fun. It was the chef! He's a necromancer! No. So anyways,
No.
That would be the best twist.
Right? But like, this blowfish is
like
to
more
die
sad.
for.
Like, I
The
followed
chef comes
the
out all
trail
proud,
right
sees
to.
us and just drops a dish.
Right in the background. Oh. No, anyways, so the moving on. I thought she wrote Daelish at the end of that line there, but it says Delish. So you he pops in after like that pleasant conversation. That a sense motive is to make sure you know that he was being genuine and not just like server face, right? So he pops in and says, "Hey there, I heard you were sitting around waiting for me."
Sitting around, wasn't enjoying this cuisine at all.
He looks about the
tedious,
table.
but,
He looks at the table and he looks at like the smorgasbord you have in front of you. And so you continue your line as he like does that finger point, like, is that okay? And you probably give a nod and he comes over and scoops up something with something else and we'll totally take a bite while you're, go ahead.
I was hoping to catch you. Did you have time to do any of those things?
Back home, when they make that. There's a significant amount more of a bitterness to it. Unfortunately, as it, the way that it's shipped here, it lacks that I don't know if you're much of one to enjoy bitter things, but it just gives us this depth of, it's wonderful. It's passable. He looks at the chef across the way, smiles, it's good, and then looks back at you. If you're asking about the spell book, no, I have not had time. I had to finish my research I was doing for the Congress, but I just passing in that paperwork now. I'm going to have time tomorrow to be able to look over the details. I did, however, put in the filing of paperwork for you to be able to use the library, and I did use my rank and title to expedite the process. So I'm hoping in the next 2 or 3 days we get a response giving you approval to get in there.
I appreciate that very much. Did you manage to have a look at the blood?
He gives like a bit of a sly smile and nods. Well, that would spoil if I didn't.
Of course, yes. Learn anything? Because I learned a lot. A hell of a lot.
Oh, you did?
I did.
As much as I would love to exchange notes with you, I think both... Do you have time?
He looks at them too and he's like, I have time.
He nods. He says, they're going to be closing up here soon. I'm sure they would like to clean up so they can get out of here. Do you want to meet at go grab a bite? He kind of looks around at the fact that there's a bunch of empty plates and everything. If you're hungry.
A drink might be good.
Nods. Says,
I could eat.
a drink then. And so,
Before you run off quickly, have you you weren't having a look at this fog by chance, were you?
it's unusually long-lived. Like usually fogs, they can be, Melisal Harbor, it's not uncommon for them to roll in and last for 2 or 3 days, but this has been 4 days now, which is very unusual. I mean, granted, fog's usually one morning, right? This is very long-lived, and
Not only that, it's giving off a smell. And he says, like, the exact smell that he noticed.
you mentioned the smell. He thinks for a moment.
Highly unusual.
I honestly didn't notice that. Granted, I have a bit of a cold at the moment. When I step outside, I'll certainly see if I can pick it up.
Yeah, if you learn anything on it, please let me know as well.
They nod and say, listen, let me get the paperwork finished. You finish up whatever you're doing here. Did you have a specific location you'd like to go to, or my recommendation?
Is there a place close to the barracks?
Yeah. So there's again the original C-shaped building, which is like,
it is.
yeah, the original C-shaped building, which is again maybe like 10 minutes from where you guys sleep. Which by the way is again only a couple minutes from here. They go, I know of a tavern that's not very far from here that we can definitely sit down.
Did you mean the old barracks or the new barracks?
I mean the C-shaped one that burned down.
No, I'm talking to Jake.
Jake.
I was talking about the one that's close to the where we're sleeping now.
Yeah, the new
barracks.
I think.
That would be about 10 minutes away from where he's just referencing.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, I mean, I know a place.
That's close.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, if you go to the now raised officers building, turn down this street. It should just be a couple buildings down on your left. You'll be fine there.
Okay. See you soon.
Nods. He says, it leans more towards drinks. It's the food is, but I just assumed you were all set.
Tristan's still hungry, so I'm sure they'll find something possible.
He nods and says, "There's food," and then he'll wave again to the person that runs the whatever it's called here, and he'll disappear off behind the front area to process his paperwork, allowing you guys to leave. Anything else you want to say to the cafe dude? Or are you good?
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. It was really good.
Yeah. They say, yeah. If
I'm
you're
off to what's that thing? I'm off to sink some tinnies and punch some darts.
is that a thing?
Yeah, sing some
punch
tinnies, just
darts.
drink some beer.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I understood that. I got
Yeah,
it
sure you
Yeah,
admit.
did.
it's
Okay.
it's a thing. Sinking tinnies and punching darts.
It is.
I've never heard that phrase. Is it specifically an Aussie thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
very much so.
Ah. Okay. Cool. So, yeah. So either way, you just yeah, whatever. So you make your way out of the place. You head over to where they were referencing. Again, it's kind of a hole in the wall. It's a small tavern that happens to be there. You walk in, look about the area, and can go over and take a seat at the at one of the booths or tables or what have you that happen to be inside here. Someone will come over and be like a bar person, worker. What do you call the male version of a bar wench?
A bar
We've had
hench.
this
No.
We've had this conversation.
We've had
before.
this exact conversation. Like, I just got the biggest sense of deja vu. I was like, what?
I think we should just call both of them bar workers.
Bar workers. Nah, it's too lame. I usually just call them. I just call them servers. So, anyway, so the server or what have you, it's just such a modern concept. But the server or what have you comes over and like, oi, drinking, eating.
Both.
Nods. Meat or no meat?
Meat.
Nods. You looking for a soup or a meal?
Meal.
Gotcha. What you drinking?
You got a nice stout?
By stout, you mean something short, or you mean something strong?
I mean beer.
they nod, laughing at their own joke, and then the other two, I imagine you guys order your shit as well, and they go off to get it for you. Again, it's not like one of those like you place it like they literally ask. Meat or no meat? Like there's very few options. What he ordered, that's one option they bring it. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not a.
So they bring over and they they deliver to you food and it's fine. It's fine.
Bread, cheese, meat.
Yep, it's fine.
Beer.
And then beer. Yep, it's fine. So you guys are probably like 3/4 of the way through your first drink, having your own conversation. Any RP you care to have amongst yourselves before the gnome shows up?
Not on my end.
So this gnome has to be one of those 13 people, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Because he could speak to the dead, which is, one would guess,
Or
dead magic.
that would. Wouldn't that be a twist?
But it seems unlikely as Pan was there and read his own aura, so she'd be
That's right,
able to
yeah.
pick that up.
She never cast a spell on him.
Fuck.
And she not. I thought when you cast
That
a spell, it was like an area.
Uh-oh.
No. All detect spells.
Looking around in there?
All detect spells have a like a very finite area that you can go to, and then you would focus on individual things for like usually 3 rounds, and then you can get more details. Any amount of wood, stone, or what have you could interrupt the way a detect spell works. And specifically, detect greater magic has what's the other limitation on it? Because they were downstairs for several minutes looking at stuff. Detect greater magic is concentration up to 1 minute per level. So as soon as you let go of concentration, you would stop. It would stop functioning. But even still, it would only last maximum 5 minutes for her if she was casting it. So, but she's never actively looked at him. You've never asked her to be fair.
Yeah.
True.
That's,
Also, question: when we did the thing, the speak with dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can they perceive?
I literally was about to ask that. Yeah.
Can who perceive?
The dead.
The person you're speaking to.
Oh, can they see you? No, because they only have knowledge that they had in life. So they can't see
See.
you. Yeah.
So although they're there, they're not.
like,
Although we're speaking with undead, they're not really there.
yeah. You're speaking with like a psychic resonance as opposed
Like
to
speaking with an AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if it turns out to be resin, that just sucks. I mean, it's like the only guy from the ACI actually.
Yeah, the only nice guy from the Arcane Congress. Terrorist. Dick move, Scott. Don't do it.
All
Don't
right,
shrug at me. You make this shit. You can change it.
I'm pretty sure Pan would be she should have come back and found us by now.
She hasn't had a need to yet. She has a huge city to search. She can only cast that spell so many times, and it's a very small range.
You know, let's hope she gets here when this guy's
This guy's gonna arrive and he's be like, the meal's here. And it's just gonna be like a silver dish lift up and it's gonna be Pan's head.
Aggressive.
All right, well, we're waiting for the murderer then.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. So anyways, you guys about 3/4 of the way through. Any more RP you have with one another? No? Okay, cool.
So, bearing that in mind, I guess we probably shouldn't tell him what we were doing in the Arcane Congress.
Probably not.
Probably, yeah.
So he comes in, walks to the place. He orders a drink from the bar, and then gets the drink, comes over and sits down with the three of you, then looks out at the table and says, "You three look like you're scheming."
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's 3 of us. Why would you have 2 if you wanted to scheme? 4's too many, it's a group.
Thinks for a moment, says, I can think of a group of 4 schemers, especially if one of them puts in less input than the others, then a group of 4 schemers could work comfortably. 5 might start to get complicated, a little overbearing, but 4, with one of them being a bit more reserved, works quite well.
I'll be the reserved one if you wanna start.
Isn't 4 schemers with 1 reserved basically just 3?
No, because there's still the chance of there being an opinion thrown in.
Interesting.
Also, they can force a stalemate in a vote.
True. Sounds to me like 3 is getting much better.
Maybe we should just go to the 5 then. So, you had information.
Yeah, I wanted to see what you'd gotten.
I thought maybe that they were a type of mage. You saw that the way that they were dressed and the fact that they were freakish looking. So I thought there might be magic in their blood. And so I tried to extrapolate that kind of knowledge to see if there was magic in their blood. Unfortunately, there isn't. There is no magic there whatsoever, which just, again, genuinely baffled me. This person was battled by you, correctly? He says, looking at Galen.
Indeed.
And they gave you a hard time in that fight, despite the fact that you look quite capable. I mean, look at those forearms.
Threw a roof at me.
I'm sorry, what?
Roof tiles.
Oh.
Threw them at me with magic.
Unless my ability to divine answers has become somehow less reliable, this person has no magic in their blood. And so, of course, I went one step further and tried to discover if perhaps they were just protective incantations and the like on them, non-detections or whatnot to reduce the likelihood of my discovering the truth. Nothing. Nope, nothing. As a matter of fact, I was almost late returning in my own research to the Arcane Congress because you know how when you get an itch and you just really need to scratch that itch? I stayed up late one night, more or less not sleeping, though I can't complain to you about that, Viggo, trying to satisfy my curiosity. And eventually I just had to throw my concerns to the wayside. I put an incantation on the blood to stop it from spoiling, but I had to finish my research and deliver it. So as I said, I'll get to your book in the morning, and then if it's possible, I'll probably return to the blood afterwards.
Right. Well, Viggo will take a like a quill, ink, and parchment out or whatever he's got, and he'll just start writing. Like some things that he learned out, and he'll give another one to Resin and say, "Can you write down some of that so we can cross reference?"
He nods, and says, "Yeah, I can have that taken care of for you." He will take the quill for a second, hold it close to himself, say a small incantation, and let go of the quill, so it does some auto writing for him, and it'll start writing down the details for him.
You think you're slick, don't you? You think you're real slick?
What? Me? No. So it does some auto writing for him while he's sitting there, and so like some of the knowledge is transporting. So he'll be able to maintain conversation, but slightly distracted, more or less like always talking to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll start.
Too real, Tesh?
I breathed in awkwardly at the wrong time mid-laugh.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'll write down what I learned about how the thing is. I'll write down, what I learned about I can't remember what it's called, the nervous system or whatever, how it, decays the body and tries to keep the thing alive and blah, blah, blah. But I'll purposely, I'll try and correlate it with his own research that's on that paper, right? And I'll probably leave some things missing that, his paper could kind of more or less, fit in with that.
You're trying to not give away your whole bit of research. You're trying to Venn diagram and.
Bro, what I want him to do is fucking write with his own hand, okay?
Oh, okay. That was weird.
So
that was a different avenue of what we were just talking about.
He's doing his auto thing, and I'm thinking, but what I'm gonna do is while I'll purposely leave parts out so I can turn and then say so that there, and I'll push the quill into his hand to when you get going on something you're really interested in, and you're comparing something and then you're putting it together.
This, sir, sounds like a bluff check because you have an ulterior motive here.
Yeah, of course.
I realize what he's trying to do now. That's clever. I like it. And I realize why you were saying, you think you're clever to Scott earlier.
Yeah. I don't know if we have any luck, but I'm sorry.
That's a good... Oh! Oh, boys,
Sorry.
he did it! He did it!
I want this.
Oh, shite.
Oh, boy, that's really good. Oh, boy, okay.
And obviously, I'm not giving away all my research.
I rolled so shitty, too. So anyways, so what is it you're trying to have him put in there?
I want a sample of his handwriting.
Yeah.
All right.
So, because most of the things that you're kind of going in, he does little bits of shorthand, right? So we're talking like a check mark here, an exclamation mark there. So we're talking he doesn't do full blown. He's not doing full writing, but that doesn't mean he doesn't do any writing whatsoever. Again, I failed my sense motive versus what you were trying to do by 15. You know what I mean? Yeah. That is what, about half of your number. So I rolled less than half your number.
Viggo and what he's doing.
So
obviously,
he's gonna like I said, he's gonna write.
But begin little words,
and,
one or two words here or there. It's gonna be it's again shorthand annotation sort of style.
Yep.
He's mostly gonna gesture at it and give you verbal responses as opposed to full blown writing it out. But to be clear, you do get samples of words and whatnot, penmanship here and there, because specifically. You tricked him into doing it. So who's to say he was even trying to avoid that? But so I'm not trying to say he was trying to avoid it by any stretch, but absolutely that does
it's
happen.
just, when more or less, they kind of, Trish brought it up before, it was like, please don't be. Please.
Yeah.
So we've got that now, and I'll just talk shop with him more or less. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Obviously, like I said, I'm not giving away everything, but you give away enough.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. So again, you guys have pleasant conversation or whatever. Eventually go, listen, if I'm going to get, after you've all had 4 pints or what have you, he'll be like, oh, It's a good thing us gnomes are made with thick livers, huh? Trying to keep up with you big folk ain't easy. If I'm gonna get started on that book in the morning, I should probably get a good rest tonight. Besides, if you're right about that fog, I smelt it when I left the Congress. It has a bit of a rank to it. I wish to not be out too late. This can things might be getting dangerous out there, more so than as of late. Anyways, you boys have yourself a good night. They'll stand up.
I'll meet you tomorrow.
It shakes his head. Evening, if we're going to meet. It gives me time to do research in the morning.
Sounds good.
He gets up, goes to leave, like gets his like cloak or jacket, whatever it is on, and then he stops and he's like, grabs his beer and like just finishes it, like throws down the rest of it, and then he puts some coin on the table, like 3 gold coins, whatever's on the table, which more than covers what everybody drank for the night. And then as he walks out, waves to the bartender and says, "Hi to the missus," and leaves.
Well, listen, I've got some work to do back at the barracks. I think we should head back.
You guys should all make 42 saves for the alcohol that you drink. Minus, because you've already said about 4 drinks, so just a simple -1. Once you get past 3 is like, where things get wonky.
You want me to put the -1?
Tristan's perfectly fine. He's tipsy, but doesn't impact him at all. Same with Gallon. Viggo, that's not a low roll. You're fine. So again, you're a little tipsy. Perhaps one of those things where you're hoping that the walk back to the back. Sort of those things where maybe you take the long way back instead of a 10-minute walk back. You make like a 14-minute walk back. A little fresh air. A little rank of rotting oranges. To wake you up. And you make your way back to the barracks. Unfortunately, Jake, you do not have your own room. Not unless you tried to get your hands on something like that. You don't have your own room back at the barracks. You are going to be sleeping, not even in the same bed you were in last night. It's one of those. You go in.
Are there any
space
offices
for you
there?
There are. When you go into that front area, it's the same idea. Instead of being a tactician recruit, there will be another low rank. Give me 1 second. We'll say it's a lieutenant tactician that's inside the front area.
Right. Lieutenant tactician. Is there any officers free that I could go over some paperwork?
There's people awake around the clock. I don't know necessarily about free. I'm here if you have something I can assist you with, sir.
You said officers, not officers.
Oh, offices, not officers. Oh, I heard you pass the R in that. Oh, that's funny. He shakes his head and says, rightly, no. Most of the offices have been used as additional sleeping quarters because we lost the barracks. And we've only been able to acquire so many other buildings to house all of our troops. Do you just need like a quiet place? The kitchens this time of day is pretty quiet.
The kitchens will have to do.
He nods, and he does say, I do apologize, not the dining area. That also has people sleeping inside of it, but the kitchens specifically are, he leans in and quietly says, rats and all. Nobody's sleeping there.
I see. Gallon, Tristan, do you wanna come with me while I do this, or are you going to?
Viggo's scared of rats.
No, well, he wants Gallon there to just, maybe like.
Little Mousy,
choke
Mickey's
at the
gonna
rats.
scare him. God.
But I also
Gallon will
just
come.
don't want to split the party. So.
Yeah, Gallon will come.
He's being paranoid. Jesus. What is it?
But yeah, so I want
sort of
to
person
compare
who can-
handwriting samples.
Okay. So you guys go to the kitchen.
Gallon's the sort of person who doesn't care about being bored. So that doesn't bother him because he can just meditate.
Let's just have a nap. Yeah. Cross my arms.
You guys go to the kitchens. There's no chairs in the kitchen because you don't sit in a kitchen. You stand, right? There's no chairs in the kitchens. So you can go and either acquire chairs from elsewhere or just stand at the counters and go about it. I imagine that Galen and what's his name, Viggo, are going over the paperwork, and Tristan is just kind of like, well, while I'm here then, huh? And like starts walking around and starts picking for different foods from like, oh, what's in this cupboard? What's in this pantry? Starts boiling ramen at like, midnight. Like, oh, did you guys want some? For the record, I was that roommate. Absolutely that roommate. Like you're like, I gotta get up at 6 a.m. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm making ramen. Do you want any? Fuck yeah, sure. But could you be quieter? Anyways, so still am, by the way. I still eat like 3 a.m. while Brittany's sleeping. So so yeah, you guys are going over the paperwork. Jake, so you're trying to do a linguistics check in an attempt to identify if these handwritings line up.
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second. You can go ahead and get your spells or what have you. I'm sure you're already looking over what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what's this one? What's the other one? I think that's it.
Okay.
Yep, that's all I can do. I'm gonna apply them. Where is that? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna roll now.
Yes, sir.
Right, so 23.
The handwriting doesn't seem to line up. I mean, it could just be that you have too small of a sample size. It could just be that it was more or less pencil whipped. It was done so quickly, whereas the handwriting you're trying to compare it to is something that was deliberately written with a lot more effort. I'm sure you even noticed in your own handwriting, if you just quickly write, like, say, a shopping list, like as you're walking back and forth from the counters, you're writing it out, versus if you sit there and you're actually like writing out, say, a response to your kid's teacher or whatever it is, right? Those are two different handwritings. There are some things that are similar, like for instance, same handedness, you know what I mean? Being gnomish is like so not just being gnomish, sorry, same kind of academy would suggest that a similar style that was taught. But as far as you can tell, it's not definitive by any stretch of the imagination. Just little notes here and there that suggest that, again, smaller hand, same handedness, etc., but it's not enough of a sample size. If you're able to get them to properly write out a report, or if you're able to get your hands on the report that they had written earlier, assuming it wasn't auto-written by the spell that they did earlier, maybe that would work for you. But the sample of the one that you have, so the sample that you have from his handwriting and the sample that you have from his auto writing are two very different samples in and of themselves, and neither of them really line up. Like, for instance, sorry, Tesh, the auto writing one is also extremely clean. Like, we're talking like it was written like a font, like you had it was printed. I'm sorry, Tesh, go ahead. Did he leave any?
Did he leave any of his auto writing stuff here? Like, did he discard anything?
He specifically auto wrote something for Jake.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Give it to Pam. See if the magic's similar.
A very smart idea, Galen.
Fucking Tesh. He's like 3 really good ideas so far this session.
See, I thought I was being slick, but Galen could have just solved this in like 2 seconds. We had to make that check.
Look, I just came up
so
with that idea.
I imagine it's like 2 a.m. You guys are done looking over the shit, and you're like, Galen, it's just not definitive. And Galen's sitting there, and he's like, maybe finishing the last bit of his ramen juice, and he's like, give it to Pam.
Look at it. Yeah, Pam. Yeah, she can do it.
All right, well, let's get some sleep then, and hope to come across Pam tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Tristan's already sleeping. he brought a chair in because he was the only one not actively doing something. He sat there, and after he was done eating his second bowl of ramen, he just kind of like lied down and put his head down.
His head just like went.
I'm just resting my eyes.
And he's out.
Just resting my eyes. You occasionally you look over at him while you guys are doing your research. That was a good boy. A good boy, Carrot. Oh. Anyways. I imagine you guys go to your beds. Do you leave Tristan here to sleep in the kitchens?
If he's properly asleep, then yeah. I mean, we don't.
Wow,
we don't have beds here. Honestly, I would.
Do you mean I have a bedroll? You're gonna leave me asleep in the chair and my arm? My God! Like, imagine when he wakes up. My God.
Oh, God,
I was
that's
gonna
point.
wake you up anyway. All right.
Yeah, if
It's
he's
too
got
late
his armor
now.
on, we
It's
probably
too late
should
now.
wake him up.
Gallon's like, oh, let him sleep. And you're like, ah.
Oh no, better wake him.
All right, so yeah, we'll go sleep.
Rats wouldn't nibble him if they have other better foods to nibble. You know, like rats are going to go for the easiest food to get their hands on. They're not going to go for the live thing.
Yeah,
They don't have
rats. Yeah, that's dangerous. Rats are smarter than that.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they wouldn't if they had to, or if it was just the best option. But either way, well, I'm not saying she's been wearing armor all day. He probably smells bad. Rats probably do want to eat him. He just ate ramen. It's like, oh, I want what's on the insides. So he's like a Tootsie Pop, but he's more like a ramen pop. So anyways, Rat's just gonna bite through to get to him. How many licks does it take? Anyways, you guys wake him up. You know, poor Tristan. Oh, well, just resting my eyes, wiping away the drool from the. I spilled some ramen. You know, do you guys clean up your dishes? Do you just throw them in the sink? Do you just leave them there?
Of course he cleans up his dishes. He's well trained.
Gallon would also clean up the dishes. Yeah, help.
Gallon goes to help clean up the
I didn't
dishes.
have any dishes, so.
Gallon goes to help clean up the dishes. So Tristan like carries them over to the sink, and Gallon's like, "I got that for you."
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Well, we had the exact same idea. He's like, I'll help. Hang on. I can't do that anymore.
Sir. With a flourish, flicks the cloak and walks away. Do it yourself. No, so you guys clean up and you make your way to your beds. So here's the fun part. It's like 2 a.m. You go over. They find you guys a spot where they actually bring you, one of you to the dining room to go sleep on the dining room floor. The other one's going to be brought up to an office, not her office. That one's not used for that, but brought to an office where you're able to pass out. And Viggo, you go walking to a bed again, where somebody's literally walks into the corner of a wall, like hurting their shoulder, like, oh, fuck. As they're like half asleep, leaving their bed to go somewhere else to make space right now.
I love how every time we go to sleep, someone gets kicked out for Viggo.
Yeah. Perception, if you care to see if it's the same person. If that's beneath your effort, don't roll.
Well, now I have to roll that you've said that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you worded it that way.
Oh, it was meant to be. Not only is it somebody that got kicked out last time, this soldier looks familiar to you. This soldier looks absolutely familiar to you. This is one of the ones that were originally kind of like out back with their weapons on the ground at one point in time. Remember, that never used to be bigger and it got smaller again. If at some point in time you gesture to that person or like, oh, I feel bad for that guy, Tristan will be able to inform you, no, fuck that bloke. Because he's one of the ones that attacked the shit out of him when he first got to the building before. So
guilt-free sleep then. Thank you.
Yeah. When you point out to Tristan the next day, you can have some guilt-free sleep. Anyways, you make your way to bed, sleep, yay, blah, 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 blah. Wake up in the morning. You guys can not quite have an hour of preparation yet, because when you wake up in the morning...
I don't need an hour, just so you know.
Why?
I just don't. Alchemists don't need that long to prepare.
Oh, what is it, like 5 minutes per spell or whatever it is? Yeah.
1 minute.
1 minute per. That's right. So anyways, there's reports that apparently, so the barracks area that you're in, the outpost, is very active. And the reason why is apparently things went sour once again with the ship that had arrived. And unfortunately, because of as far as you can understand, just things turned sour. And another 9 soldiers were killed in the ensuing battle. It's now the entire friggin' docks area is being quarantined off because they're there, and the field commander is like, the field commander even went ahead and called for reinforcements from the north.
Shit.
It's serious.
But I imagine you guys don't really care about this right now. And your whole hope this morning is to go find Pan.
Yep.
I mean, do we not care about this? They've asked for reinforcements.
From the north.
From the north.
But reinforcements from the west are better.
Feel free to chime in if you want to. I'm not going to tell your character what to do.
I spoke with the FC about this. She said that we should stick with our current task. I agreed with her, but this does sound kind of important. If we've had nearly 40, 50 soldiers killed in the docks, and they've called for reinforcements.
I think there's certainly 3 of us. I'm not entirely sure we could make that much of a difference there. We could make a difference, yes, I agree. But our efforts might make more of a difference if we focus on the mage.
Seeing what happened with the Master of War here and the Field Commander, I get the sense that the Field Commander likes her orders to be obeyed. We've pushed that a little bit. If we were to turn up, Tristan, I feel like that hospitality that she's given us might erode, especially if you've already went and offered. She's told you to stick with it. I'm not saying don't go.
I just asked some questions, which she kindly answered.
I see.
Yeah, I think
This problem may not go anywhere anytime soon, especially if she's called from reinforcements to the north. We're supposed to find out today whether or not the Arcane Congress are going to help us. And,
Or tomorrow
that
morning if
leads
things
back-
go sideways. Because again, if for some reason today's
That's
session's
right,
cut
yeah.
short, it might not be till tomorrow.
which,
Yeah.
given what's happening, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
I think we stay alert, be ready
We
to
sit
aid if
around.
called upon.
And do nothing.
No, I think we go to find Pam and see what we can do there.
Pan, like you cook
Pan.
with.
I know. It's one of those things where I know and corrected myself. The issue is just because it was for so long we
Tesh,
thought it was
Tesh.
Pam.
It's because you
It's
really like
ingrained.
Pamela Anderson, and I get that. I get that. But no.
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what it is.
There you
yeah.
go. Okay.
Well, not only that, she might have a location for us. So it's probably worth checking in at least. And hey, she may have heard something while she's been looking. She seems the type to come across information.
In the meta, while I understand what you're saying is in game, in the meta, I believe the spell she uses to discover that is the same level as Rumor Monger and Detect. So locate object are the same level spell, so she wouldn't be able to do both if she's just spam casting one.
I wasn't referring to her actually using
okay.
Rumor
Cool.
Monger, just like because due to the nature of her work, she may come across just people talking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah.
She uses her natural charisma and appeal to gather
I
information.
was about to say, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she doesn't need magic to get information out of a lot of people.
No, she's just again easy to talk to person, as you guys discovered, right? So, anyways, so you make your way downtown. Well, no, so you send word to go find Pan to have her come to you. I'm pretty sure you had some sort of correspondence means. So you'll send word to her, and a few hours later. So again, not morning, but we're talking like early afternoon. So you check with the Arcane Congress. They don't have a response for you this morning. They did not run a late session yesterday. So they say they're intending on running a normal session today. So they're hoping to have you. It's on the docket for this morning. So you're hoping to have an answer for you for tonight. Okay. So then around noontime, maybe like just afternoon, Pan would come and meet with you. Would you ever? She wouldn't want to meet with you at the barracks, right? She want to meet with you somewhere nearby, so maybe like down the street from the barracks. Just because you don't want to have too much conversation about discrete things around too many ears.
Yeah.
So she would walk up to you and give you a bit of a smile and say, "I hope you've all had some luck, because I've had a piss poor time myself."
Well, as this session is undoubtedly going to be called once it's uploaded to YouTube, we've just been focused on the bureaucracy this of late. But we do have something I want you to look at. Does the magic that's on this match magic you're looking for?
I'm gonna grab Viggo's hands as he goes to reach towards his trousers. Oh, Viggo, no!
So funny enough, that spell, usually you would not be able to detect something from that long ago. So again, if you do detect magic, normally detect magic, that shit's faded away overnight. But with greater detect magic, it's a little bit different. You can actually 1 day per caster level you have. So that absolutely is within the realm of what you can do. I believe what she had to roll beforehand was a spellcraft check to be able to identify what this is. And the same as beforehand, you were able to aid in this. So you can go ahead and roll spellcraft to try to aid her in her check. I hope you roll really high so that I roll really low. Thank you. So you gave me a +3. If you want a luck, you could try to transition that into a +4. It would be an automatic +4.
She might need the luck though.
Yeah, I think. Save the luck for her because
Damn
you
it!
might.
I was trying to get you to use your only luck on your check, so you couldn't use it on mine.
Because
Okay, I'll play +3.
With her, you're guaranteed to get that extra +1 anyway.
Yeah, I was totally just trying to cheese you guys. All right, here we go. This is. Oh, it does not matter.
Holy damn!
The only 20 all session, of course, is right now.
Out of the frying pan.
So she she did it not roll on screen? Oh, for some reason it didn't roll on screen, which is really weird. But yeah, net 20.
That hurt.
So she casts a spell, she's looking it over, and she's like, yep. And then as we talked about beforehand, there's this detail. Yep, that lines up. There's this detail. Oh, so far we have 4 matching details. That doesn't really matter because we can... hold on. It goes over the whole thing again and starts searching, and she says, after like another 15 seconds or so of looking at it, looks up and says, this is a perfect match.
Viggo drops to his knees. No! You hear like echoing through the streets.
She's like, don't mind if I do, and steps in place. So, no. So she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is genuinely, it's a perfect match.
And Galen would say shit in game. Just.
So that means he's the one.
I knew there was no nice members of the Arcane Congress. I said it from the beginning. I should have known.
And you're sure about this?
The match. Hold on, just to be clear, so we can clear the air here. The match is perfect. This matches perfectly to the amulet that was crafted. Matches perfectly to the spell in the alleyway that pulled the viscera off of the person who did. Okay, yeah. There's no thinking our way out of this one.
Fuck the Arcane Congress then. Should we bring this straight to the field commander? Or do we just handle it?
Hold on, wait. But if he's illegally doing activities, the Arcane Congress would still want to be involved, wouldn't they? Again, I don't typically work with the Arcane Congress. I touch and go for information. I don't work as closely with them as you're choosing to do, because you know how they are. But
When are we meeting him? This is at me, Tesh, asking when are we meeting
it
him?
was supposed to be tonight.
And we might find out if the Arcane Congress is going to help us tonight.
Or tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I suppose we wait till the see if the Arcane Congress get back to us tonight.
'Cause if
In
they
which
get
case
to
they'll
back
assign
to
us
us-
someone, and we can just tell them we know exactly who it is.
Yeah, just I'd say that we came across information literally today. Shit. This is a problem on multiple fronts.
I hate you, Scott. I'm just telling you now. Fucking
Yeah, I
fucking
feel
hate
like
you, dude.
we really need to like
The need
just
to
have an Arcane Congress campaign, don't we? What was it we decided the name was? I can't remember.
There is
Fuck them all.
It was just gonna be like 3 guys just doing some Arcane Congress
Experiments?
tests.
Question
Yeah.
mark?
Experiments.
a
Experimenting.
really big problem here.
3 guys experimenting, I joke.
Well, there is the law of scrutiny.
That's what I was getting at.
There's the law of scrutiny. You could always just call it Aurorum scrutiny, right? But anyways, keep going.
So there's something we haven't considered yet here. That is a problem. If this individual is in fact a member of the Black Knights, they were also the one that cast the spell that to the Speak with Dead. How did they influence that? Did they influence that? Could they have influenced the answers?
She shrugs and says, "Check the bodies."
I think
Well,
right now
shit. Wait.
we should see if we can hear back from the Arcane Congress, and we were going to meet up tonight anyway.
Well,
Yeah, but what if this little fellow?
He was never left alone with the bodies, was he?
was he left alone?
Yes, he was.
He was.
But what if this little fellow is working on a timescale and thinks, well, they're bound to find out eventually. And this meeting tonight is to cut another lead.
He maybe. Either
We've
way.
thrown him off for now, I guess, by going for drinks with him.
Let's see what the Arcane Congress. If the Arcane Congress get back to us today and let us know, they'll assign us somebody, and we can deal with it then and there. If not, maybe we just have to deal with it ourselves. In which case, make sure Carrick's ready.
I will try to find out where he lives while you're trying to figure out your own details.
Good idea.
Did you have a meeting location?
Do we?
Probably
do.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go about my searching today the way I have been as of late. I could try to spread a rumor and see if I could find out anything about that inn. See if anything about that inn stands out to us.
You could, or you could talk to the bartender himself. He seems to know the. They seem to be very familiar.
But if they're
President knows
friendly,
his
it's going to
wife
be a
and
little bit more
family.
difficult to get information. I can do both. I can approach him both ways.
Yeah. Well,
I think if you can find out anything about this bar, it'd be worth it because it's his ground. He might have chosen it for a reason. I don't think he would, given what we know now, he wouldn't choose a place without reason.
She nods. Then we shall meet outside of the Arcane Congress's offices this evening as the sun goes down.
I mean, I assume that's when they close.
You usually shortly after that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then
we should have word before then, correct? Because once it closes, obviously it's closed.
We'll,
so we
we'll
should
have word
know.
that we'll have word that we have word, or we'll have word that we don't have word.
Yeah. So
Right, well, yeah.
so she'll go her own way. And what are you guys doing to kill time between now and when the Arcane Congress thing happens?
I would also.
Time skipping.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
just
fine.
Skipping time.
But
Okay.
just does anything happen in the meanwhile? Okay, sir.
As Panleys, I'll just say, just be careful. If it looks like a situation might go sour, just get out of there.
I feel like a report should probably be given to the field commander, though.
She'll place
I
a
agree.
when you say that line. So obviously before you give that, because she can say after she leaves, when she gives that line, she'll place like a calm hands like on your forearm and say, "Gallon, running away is what I do best." And then she'll turn and walk away with like a little bit of like a swagger to her, but just to be funny, because like try to lighten the mood because it was clearly very just bad juju at the moment, right?
Yes, I agree, Viggo. We should submit something, at least so they're updated on the situation should our situation go south.
Yes.
So you just deliver a report. You don't speak to her directly.
Given what she's dealing with at the moment,
If she wants to
it
speak
might-
to us, do you know what I mean?
If
I don't
you
know
choose,
the
I'll put it this way: if you choose to speak to her directly, she'll 100% take your audience. She would just be waiting upwards an hour, right? But she'll 100% take your audience. She'll make time for you. But if you want to just deliver a report, that
Alright.
works too.
Nah. We should tell her.
Okay.
Yeah, in that case.
So
yeah,
then
like,
this will be the
that's-
last bit of RP we can do because then I have to go and get
Okay.
ready because I can't be late to work today. So I'm hoping today's the day that I get good news. So, but anyways, so you, sir. Yeah, I'm hoping verbal news today, written news tomorrow. We'll see. But back to you,
hope.
sir. It is my apologies. You request a meeting with her. She will speak with you. Let's say 1d10 times 10 minutes later. Somebody in chat can roll it. First person to chat doesn't matter. So she's going to meet with you, and you inform her of the situation. We can assume you kind of gave her most of the info, but give me the last line of it.
And while we've been waiting for the whole bureaucracy of the Arcane Congress, we managed to identify the magic and who it belonged to.
I think Scott wants like just the end of it.
No, that's
'cause
perfect.
we're
That's actually
obviously gonna
that's
input
perfect.
them.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was an hour later. Perfect. So, anyways, I'm gonna say D6, but that works too. So anyways, so she nods and says, "Listen, I would like to say that you have my full support in this. I would like to say that I'm denoting a certain number of troops to assist you in this. I would like to say that this will be handled immediately. That we will obtain that person. We'll detain that person, and then let the Arcane Congress figure it out afterwards. Because that way we can at least be sure that things are secure and safe for you and all of us around. Unfortunately, chaos is ensuing. The ship that has sailed somewhere, some island or what have you to the east, we still don't know where. Potentially even called Zealand or something. I'm hearing it's called. This ship that has arrived is taking my full attention. We're trying to keep the whole city secure, and now there's this. So I would like to give you that support, but you're on your own. Wait for the Arcane Congress or act preemptively. You have my support. Whatever windfall happens from this, I will support you by all means that I can. Just use your best judgment. Don't break any laws." She says that in a way that is meant to mean like too many laws.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one thing? How does detaining a member of the Arcane Congress actually go? Like, if they've committed a crime against, like, Peridel or
Yep.
They're
Parent
still,
Interest,
they're still beholden to our laws.
Yeah.
Remember,
Okay.
it's the letter of the law, not the specific.
Yep,
Not
and it's
the,
it's the strictest of the two, is what they will be held to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone's gonna agree with, like, if there's anyone that's gonna be like, "Oh, magic proved that this is the same person," and go with it, it's gonna be the Arcane Congress being like, "Yeah, okay."
And it'll probably be the Arcane Congress later on that cast those spells for you to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
So you'll be fine. So yes, you can absolutely detain that person out of game, Jake. Yes, because you have evidence. So
Yep.
Cool. So she says, and she actually will give you, like, she still has her fierce, kind of expression and whatnot, but you can hear her tone breaking ever so slightly to give empathy in the situation. She says, may Aravel watch over you, and may Kraleen give you the fires to deliver justice.
Thank you. May the Lady Dark Eyes watch over you as well. Try and learn what you can about that in where we're supposed to meet him. If
he's talking to Pan.
See him,
Oh, this was with the.
This was not Pan.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot who we were talking to.
Yeah, you're good.
Never mind me.
He's just kind of like, I'm in the past now.
Yeah.
She's like, baby, you asking me out? Trying to get that another promotion, huh? Trying to earn another promotion.
God damn.
Yeah. All right. He got that Centaurian on his nose. Anyways.
Oh
so
my God.
God damn.
All right, with that we're gonna end the session. I do have to say one more thing, just so it's known, so there's no question mark going into next week. When you approach the Arcane Congress and you go check on things, there is a secretary inside. But one of the first things they say when you walk in the door, I do apologize. The Arcane Congress has been closed early today. There was too much. Too many members of the Arcane Congress were requested for immediate aid at the docks, and because of the growing situation over there, the session was closed early. When you explain the situation to them, they'll be like, completely understands. We'll have that response for you in the morning. It will be delivered to you prior to noon. There should be nothing that stops this from happening, but you will get it in the morning prior to noon. Enjoy a late breakfast and come by then. And then whatever other RP you want to have, or if you want to repeat this RP, we can do that in the morning.
Grab them by the head and just smash their head into the desk.
I want you to have all week to contemplate this in case there's any approach that you need to come with, so there's no surprise. Mm-hmm. All right, let's do a quick goodbye so I can go and get ready for work. Tesh, let's start with you. Hey, what you been up to?
Hi. Not too much recently, but I'm sure you'll find me streaming some Back for Blood soon, so follow me on the Test Tube on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, sir. We're about to go raid Ollie, so make sure that you give him some form of fun rating, maybe like an Ollie Oxen free or what have you. But let's go raid Ollie, who is another D&D TTRPG streamer, as well as an incredible artist. So he does a lot of art streams. So if you see any art, like his away screens or anything like that, all that was done by him personally, sometimes even while on stream. So he's a pretty cool dude. Anybody else want to say anything, Jake or Neil?
I think at this rate, I can get promoted to Superior Excellent before Gallon, because that would be quite amusing, wouldn't it? Like, this is Excellent Gallon, and I'm Superior Excellent.
Wow. Wow.
Bye, everybody.
Wow.
Thank you so much for a great day. Wish me luck. I hope to be mentioning good news in Discord later. And I'll see you on Lost
Fingers
Session
crossed.
tonight. Bye, everybody.
Fingers crossed.